smart enough to do that. I'm smart enough to say Prime doesn't hate all white people when he says something, that is derogatory to
That's to be
white women.
determined.
You hate all white women, Prime? Can I ask you that? Bam, you hate all white people?
I have made love to too many white
You ever made a
women.
statement, a general statement about white people?
Hold on,
I walked right into it. I walked right into it. The topic. Kanye West has lost nearly all of his sponsorships and endorsements due to comments that he's directed towards the Jewish community. This has included his Adidas deal, which made up a large amount of his wealth. There has been a mass public backlash to Kanye, with media coalescing to condemn his actions. Do you think that the response has been warranted? Has Kanye been misconstrued? If Kanye was white, do you think he'd have suffered as much punishment as he has? Okay, you guys know the deal. Kanye West making all kinds of comments on public about our Jewish brothers and sisters. Certainly there has been a response, right? And it's been a unified response across the spectrum there. But is this fair, right? Some people bring up other celebrities have done similar messed up things, and they haven't got punished enough. As much. Yeah, we'll try to find the line here. Let's try to keep this one civil. Even though I promise you I'm gonna instigate with my man GSU Gambit. I promise you I'm gonna do that. But everyone else keep it civil. Be better than me, okay? All right. Let's go to Bam. Isle, if you can mute yourself. We hear you're static. And 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Can we get to level 4 boost train? Guys, sub to channel, give subs. Al, are muted? I got some background noise. Oh, maybe you are muted. Yeah, you are muted, Al. I don't know. Guys, can you hear that staticky sound?
Yeah, I hear static.
I don't know who it is.
Everybody try to mute yourself.
Yeah, everyone mute yourself. Waterkai, can you mute yourself? Blaze, if you can mute yourself. Oh, all right, it just went away. Waterkai, I think that might have been you. Okay, so we'll just everyone just keep yourself muted until I call you, and we'll figure this out. Okay. So let's go to my man Bam. 90 seconds left on the clock. Help save the boost train. Go ahead.
Yeah. So honestly, Kanye West is. It's sad. He was one of my favorite artists all the time. Music is still good, but the man is an idiot. I've been watching all the interviews he's been doing so far to see if I can get a coherent thought out of his mouth, but it doesn't really seem to be that. It seems to be on a really, really in a really, really weird place. But yeah, no, I think that he deserves absolutely everything he's getting. Honestly, he should have gotten this before when his comments were against the black community. But too many of us was pulling out a cape for him for the types of comments he says. And you can't be good for branding when you behave this way. Like we'll get in. There's so many specifics we can get into, but like let's just do that in the opening.
Thank you. We are 40% done, 60% left for the boost train. So I just have to let you know, less than 30 seconds left. I'll thank you, Bam, for the kind sub as well. Help us get to a level 4 boost train. It does a lot. Like it definitely helps off the channel. Someone rescue the boost train if you can. Sub to the channel, give fits or give subs. All that does add up. Thank you so much. Okay, smooth.
So what I want to say is I've actually talked about this before, which is interesting. I think Ye deserves it because it's just karmatic. Okay, it just happened to be the Jewish stuff, and I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'll argue with you guys later.
Okay, thank you. Let's go for it right now.
You know, I think Ye is being beset on all sides on his quixotic campaign against the Jewish community. But, you know, I wish him well. You know, Caleb Mills said, you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. And I just hope Kanye can keep his strength up. keep entertaining us with his music and with his, very interesting insights. Voice of a Generation, 808s and Heartbreaks, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy, Kids See Ghost, really good albums. Really enjoyed Jesus is King. So I hope this isn't the end of Kanye. I hope Kanye can bounce back, but he's going through a rough time right now.
Oh, my. All right. All right, Prime, you promised yourself you'd stay calm, right? At least until GSU Gambit speaks. We'll stay calm, all right? All right, I'm being tested from Jesus now. Let's go to Mordecai, please.
Okay. All of Kanye's problems are self-inflicted. He is cry bullying his way into the poorhouse. He went and lost $2 billion in a span of about a week just from decisions he made, and he will not back down on them. His best apology says, I'm sorry you feel that way. But I still say this dude is asking for everything he's getting, and he needs to pump the brakes or do something. He needs to find Zen. He needs to find a what do you call him? A monastery, something to chill himself out. I'm not even telling him go on meds. He needs to do something with his life. Find some outlet that will help him, because he is just shooting himself in the foot day by day with every interview. The brain rot that was that interview, I had to hear him talk about porn and his own cock more times. Like I can't take it. There's something wrong here. I'm gonna shut up now.
No, thank you for Mordecai. Thank you putting the image of Kanye West penises all our brains. We appreciate that. Let's go to Blaze. Blaze, once again, since like you are very, very last minute, you might not have been prepared for this, but if you have an opening statement to talk about Kanye, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, there were people that did way more worse than what Kanye did or what Kanye said. But they never lost their bank accounts. They was never canceled or they never lost their network at a much tremendous rate like he did. And there are also documents of notorious people out there who did some awful things. They are making money off that. So when people say that Kanye West deserve this, they also need to be bringing forth these other people like who did actual sex trafficking rings, and put them on notice as well about what they did. So it doesn't seem like an unjustifiable talking point.
So much. Save him for later. We'll go to 2B. 2B, who was pushing me to make this topic happen. Shout out to my man 2B. Please go ahead.
Yeah, it's a goddamn shame. Kanye West was obviously super influential to many people for a whole generation, really, and even beyond his shelf life as a musician. Like, 'cause I don't really care about his album post My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, really. But it was really important. It was formative for me as a child, like listening to music. And I understand where Kanye comes from. Like, he comes from a family of people who embody the Black radical tradition. I get it. Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, etc. I get it. A lot of people in his immediate family were either directly involved in civil rights or were strong proponents of it. His mom was a Black Panther. I get it. I get where Kanye is coming from as far as Black people empowering themselves, them building up institutions for themselves so they can help other Black people, sort of like what GSU Gambit has mentioned he's done, providing computers to underserved youth and things like that. But Kanye, he has fallen prey, I think, to some of the unproductive aspects of that. It's never going to be productive for you to call out an entire group of people, and you have access to so much wealth that, I'm sorry, but gradual change by doing things like what GSU Gambit has done, that is the most meaningful thing you can do for Black people. You can start your own company. It's unfortunate that when Black people start the same kind of thing, it's seen as a less prestigious version of something, right? You have the Grammys and then you have the BET Awards, right? They just don't command the same amount of respect. And it's unfortunate that Black people's stuff is shelved like that. But then when you don't do that, when you don't make gradual change and you do what Kanye's doing, you destroy everything that you've worked your entire life to build up. And I understand where his intentions are, but goddamn, dude, like hopefully you can rebuild it and just make regular moves, like what I was saying. But it's a damn shame. The banking shit is absolute fucking insanity. I don't think it's the bank's job to make a political statement. I could go on about this shit forever, but I'm gonna just hand it over. Goddamn.
Okay. Next we'll go to our friend Azzy. Azzy, thanks for dropping in. Here. I do appreciate you volunteering to be a part of this, friend. I'm always happy to have my friend Azzy here, looking sharp as usual. Look at his fucking hair, man. He's always a sharp looking dude. So thank you for being here. So you can introduce yourself if you like, and give us an opening statement.
What's going on, everybody? This is Azzy. Thank you, Prime, for having me on last minute. Shout out to everybody who's on the panel tonight. I just want to say, I don't believe Kanye's comments are as they're dangerous, but they're not as disparaging to the natural Jewish community at large. If anything, they're very outdated comments. And I feel like it's only prevalent right now because of the time we're in, where we're very part and partial to certain groups, and we're very divided. And if anything, the Jewish community is one of the most, I guess, like they are the most victimized, or one of the most victimized. I have to see. I want to hear from my fellow panel mates panelists how the comments that were made going DEFCON 3 on Jews are disparaging to the community as a whole. Yeah, I don't see them as something that is like totally detrimental to their community. I believe it can cause there's probably effects. That's after effects. That's why I say they're dangerous. I was listening to Mark Lamont talk about it. Malcolm, is it Malcolm Lamont or Mark Lamont? I forgot his name.
Mark Lamont, you're good.
Mark Lamont. Yeah.
It's Mark Lamont. He was comparing, like, I feel like it's not the comments in and of itself that's the problem. Is that Kanye has a history of just saying things out of context without explaining it, and then when he explains it, he does a poor job of it, and he does a lot of controversial things or trollish things. And I find like he finds himself funny, and he's just saying things because he's unapologetically, almost aggressively himself, at the expense of a lot of people around him. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
I want to apologize for not giving a shout out to Clandis Trash Panda Owens for helping Kanye down the road.
Last but not least, I told my man Tubi that I didn't want to do this topic without my man GSU here, because he is the #1 Kanye fan. Excuse me, I don't know where that came from. Kanye fan that I know, and it just wouldn't be worth talking without him. So GSU, friend, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm really ready for the open, but for my intro, yeah, Kanye West has long been brilliant, and that's why he achieved the status of richest black man in history, because of his sheer brilliance. The biggest mistake that Kanye has made throughout all of this was actually being black. We have lots of different demographics of people who have called out systemic injustices. And during those call outs, unfortunately, I think it's hyperbolic, and I do think this is a thing that's not good, to be clear. But there are people that call out an entire demographic due to systemic things. So we'll hear things like women say, F men, sometimes after they're like being raped or something, which we can understand what they're actually saying is, hey, men that commit these type of hurtful actions are bad, dangerous, should be in jail, blah, blah, blah. But nobody actually listens to that person when they're in their pain and calls them like misandrous against men, right? Prime has had several nut jobs. And this isn't the entire community. There are very brilliant trans people. There's Zonia, if we want to talk Twitch. There's a bunch of people that are absolutely brilliant that are trans. There are also, unfortunately, there are idiots. And some of those idiots that have been on this panel have said things like, all cisgender people this, and they subscribe like all types of like nefarious beliefs or attributes onto cisgender people. When those, ridiculous people make those statements, what we look at is we say, okay, even though this person is coming from a place of emotion, we understand that they're actually talking about the systemic injustice that as a collective, cisgender people have been on the opposition for some of the progress that they wanted. Unfortunately, because Kanye is Black, he's not given this grace like every other demographic of people that calls out systemic injustice. Black people say, hey, white people this, right? But they're not talking about all white people. They're talking about particular white people that have a particular characteristic. So Kanye has been talking about certain Jewish elites that exist in either media or record companies, blah, blah, blah. And everyone understands that. But the media has taken this and said that, hey, Ye is actually anti-Semitic and he's casting these aspersions against whole race, ethnicity, or culture. And everyone knows that that's fake. But lots of people here, you'll probably hear Prime do it today, are going to pretend as if his comments have anything to do with most common folk Jewish people. And it doesn't at all. So the only mistake that Kanye did was actually being Black. As Blaze said, we've seen people make really insensitive, racist, transphobic, homophobic, or all these type of thing remarks. They don't lose their bank accounts. They don't lose this. So a part of Ye's message was how these elites have rigged the game so that if you call them out, you will lose everything that you have. And we're seeing it happen in front of us, and we're saying that it's Kanye's fault. So I think Kanye has spoken some truth about certain aspects of entertainment culture. At times he's been hyperbolic and he's used the word Jewish people instead of like Jewish elites or something that might be more appropriate. But yeah, that's basically what happened. Kanye is Black and he exists in a media culture that is laced in anti-Blackness.
So Gambit, you're a business owner.
Yes.
Or you have been a business owner. So
Yes.
in understanding the angle of being a business owner,
Yo, go ahead. I'm sorry.
okay, so in understanding being a business owner, who people tend to work with tend to be in their communities, whereas we tend to be more disparate in our own communities. So there will be a Black beauty supply up the street and an Asian beauty supply not far from it. Most of our people will go and shop at the Asian beauty supply because the Black beauty supply costs a little bit more.
Which is terrible. Yes, that's
But
a fact.
But as a business owner, you understand why the Asian beauty shop is able to charge less than the Black beauty shop.
I would say that I don't want to disagree with you too much because I want to see where you're getting to. But there are other communities who spend their money, even if it's detrimental price-wise, experience-wise,
That's my exact
service-wise. But there are other cultures that will take the detriment to support their own. This doesn't exist to the level that it should in the Black community. So I disagree with you on some points, but I want to see.
Well, no, I'm saying we are some of the only people that actually do this because the Jewish community tends to support the most failing business in their community, no matter what the cost is. We don't do the same thing. So when it comes down to hiring and networking within, say, the music industry or any other industry, they're going to bring their people in, the same people they went to school with, the same people they grew up with, the same people in their communities. If someone says their kid is looking for an internship, they're going to hook them up. Then all of a sudden, this is going to be the issue. So it's more of a correlation versus causation issue. It's not a Jewish conspiracy the way that Kanye tends to outline it. So that makes it sound like anti-Semitism because he keeps pointing toward the numbers and saying, why is this? It's more of a descriptive misnomer by allowing people's minds to drift in the direction of whatever they would already feel, and which is why you're having more people feeling like there's anti-Semitism on the rise, because he's leaving the question wide open as to, well, there's a bunch of Jewish people here, so what's the issue?
But
No, I
there
don't
is
think
a lot
he's.
of, there is a lot of Jewish people there, so
Yeah.
we should be able to, as adults, calmly say, yeah, there's a lot of Jewish people here doing lots of Jewish people things as they have the right to do because they're American citizens in America. We can discuss that, and then we just move on. Like, there's no necessarily anti-Semitism just by pointing it out.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
at the
like-
end
Yeah,
of the
bro,
day,
How
like,
you
I'm
point it
sorry,
out,
but
if you're
like,
saying that it's an oversaturation, you're not he's implying that there's a conspiracy that goes along with it. So what I was saying to
feel
you is
like
to finish it
okay,
up.
but
Conspiracy
No.
doesn't
hold on.
beg the-
Before any of this, before any of this current controversy, I think like Kanye posted a tweet. It was like, this was like around My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy time, I think, where he said it was like around Christmas, and he was like, to all the rappers, I want to wish you a happy Kwanzaa. To all the record label executives, I want to wish you a happy Hanukkah. And what was he saying with that? Like, that he wishes all Jewish people, like he wishes to enact what Hitler enacted, and like anything like that? No, what he's saying is like, it's so weird that as Black people, we generate tons of revenue for sports franchises, for record label companies, for various media companies, and for actors in films or whatever. And yet, as Black people, we don't own any of that stuff. We generate tons of revenue and we don't own any of it. And all of that stuff is owned predominantly by Jewish people. And so I think in the context of that, and again, taking into context the kind of familial background that Kanye comes from, because for Malcolm X, for Fred Hampton, for Marcus Garvey, all of these people tried to establish institutions so Black people could economically and ideologically empower themselves. So taking his personal background into consideration and the spirit of what kind of mindset that would give him, when he says, I'm going DEFCON whatever on Jewish people, also take that into consideration, everything else he's saying in these interviews about how he's had interactions with certain Jewish people in a high level situation where they have screwed him over. He gave an example of when he had a tech startup company where he invested half of the capital and a Jewish guy invested half of the capital. And then he asked the Jewish guy, because the Jewish guy was in charge of hiring people for that company, how many Black engineers have you hired for this tech company? And the Jewish guy said 2. He asked him, okay, how many Jewish people have you hired for this startup company? And he said at the time they had 60 full-time employees and 40 part-time employees. And then when he asked him how many Jewish people he hired, the Jewish guy was like, oh, I don't know. That's not important.
So
Okay, bro, like,
this is where I got to stop.
Nepotism for sure.
Exactly.
Okay,
they are taking care of their own the way they always have. So the
Yeah,
fact
but-
that there was even 2 Black people there just meant they were being cool
and
about it.
Kanye's trying to take care of his own.
I feel like you
think
said
that-
that story incorrectly.
Huh?
To be.
That's the way Kanye
No,
told the
that's
story.
the way-
No,
He
I
says there
remember.
were only 2
I
Black
heard
people,
it. Yeah.
2 Black engineers versus everybody else being anything but Black people. So if there was a predominance of Jewish people, it's because they were looking after their own.
Yeah, but wait,
but I'm
I
saying-
wanna answer. Oh no, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I think you contextualize that story a little bit off. Like, it is true that he said that there was 2 people, but it wasn't. I don't think it was like. I don't think he said it like, oh, this is a Jewish guy who was leading the company. I think he said that they're
No,
Jewish.
I didn't say he led the company. I said
No,
they
but he
both
said he was in
started to
charge of
capital to
hiring.
start
I'm
the
saying
company.
that I don't think that was the case.
That's
either.
what Kanye said.
No, I remember. I remember hearing it verbatim. He said that the guy told him that the Jewish engineers were leaving the company. He said they were having a problem and the Jewish people were leaving. And he was like,
I think-
"Well, how many
I
is
think
that?"
Tubi
And he was
is
saying,
right.
"How many Black people?"
No, bro, you're definitely wrong
think-
on that.
I
I've
think
watched that
Tubi is right.
part of the segment like twice. I've watched
Yeah,
that.
I think
interview
Tubi
part
is
twice.
absolutely correct on this.
He
I
said
could be
that-
wrong.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
Kanye.
didn't
So
say what
you're telling me that Kanye was trying to hire Black people, and this person
Bro,
was
all
like,
I'm telling you is that I think you're misremembering.
Yeah,
No,
not
I'm
trying to tell you
asking
anything
you because
inflammatory. I'm just saying I
you're
think
saying
you're
because you're creating. I'm just saying that and the only reason I think it's important is because I feel like you're the way you told it gave the intention that Kanye wanted to hire Black people, and this person was like going out of their way to not hire Black people.
basically
And
saying-
Kanye
Well, hold on.
was saying
let
that he
me
didn't
address
consider
Let me
hiring
address
Black
that.
people
Okay.
before it was
Well, hold
addressed.
on. Wait. No, Okay, he definitely didn't say that. But let me.
He
address
did.
what
He
you're
said that.
saying.
Oh, I
You're-
should
hold on,
probably
wait.
hire my own. I had to
Wait.
address myself. He said I had to look inward for this
No.
because he said he had never considered hiring black engineers before this.
Let's go to 2B.
Wait, do we want to get stuck on this?
No.
I think it's important.
Okay, first of all, we don't have to get stuck on this, but I think you're misremembering a lot of what he said after that, because he also said after that what he finds fucked up about black people who become particularly successful is that once they become successful, because the predominant culture is not their own culture, it's typically white people's culture, that black people become successful, they achieve this distance from black people's culture, and then they shit on black people's culture. And he said he thinks that's fucked up. And he said the sad thing is that society has a way of picking all of the bright, brilliant black people and then separating them from other black people.
And
so that they adopt this mentality.
But he was saying he was also doing that.
Said, no, what? And then he said, "Oh my, I can't, bro."
No, sorry.
I love you though.
Here's the thing. That's fucking rich from the guy who wearing the White Lives Matter T-shirt, right? Let's be serious, okay? Like,
he has white kids,
fucking
bro.
that piece of shit. That piece. No, sorry. Let's not mince roads here, right? And this is where like I attacked your issue. Piece of shit Kanye, right? He ain't a genius. He's a fucking moron. He proves all the goddamn time. And he has anti-blackness in his heart. That was just another example of that. When we are so yeah, first of all, White Lives Matter is a white supremacist statement, right? Like that's exactly what they were using against black people.
Slavery 400 years.
I can't do everything at once, right? To deal with this thing about the bank account, right? Well, I looked into that. According to this New York Post article, there is and if there's other information out there, then I'll take this back. But according to this New York Post article, JP Morgan Chase did not break their business relationship with Kanye West because of this recent stuff. They had been talking about this for a long time. Kanye West had said, like in an interview previously, that he wanted to separate from the bank, right? Like long before this stuff happened. And he criticized JP Morgan Chase like for not giving him access to Jamie Dimon, right? The bank CEO. Whatever. Of course he did, because he's a fucking idiot, a narcissistic idiot.
Yes.
But he had the letter that Candace Owen tweeted was sent weeks previously. So I'm gonna send you this link. If you have any other information that contradicts this, I'll gladly take a look at it. But this is the information that I'm getting. I'll put it in the group DM so y'all can take a look at it.
To be clear,
they first said it was
way out of a bank
Thing
account.
about the JP Morgan, yeah, he was shit talking the board, and so they decided to terminate because of that. So, which I think is just
this doesn't. Let's be clear. The Kanye West the Kanye West conversation isn't something that's new. So the fact that you're saying that this dates before last week or 2 weeks ago doesn't really mean much. This conversation has been happening for a while. But
it's September 12th. Oh, no. And what West told Bloomberg News on September 12th that he planned on cutting ties, much of the corporate ties, saying it's time for it to go alone. And I think he also specifically said something about the bank. I'll have to look at the article again. But like JP Morgan Chase is giving West 60 days from the date of the letter, right? So I think it was sent like 2 months previously. Not 60 days. Never mind. Ignore that last statement. Sorry, ignore that last thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think that beyond that, Kanye West, right? What Tupi was saying about, we got to take Kanye West's background into account. I think all we have to do is take in his actual actions into account, things he's actually said. When we are discussing Jewish individuals, look, yeah, we should be careful. Right? We should be careful not to actually go into anti-Semitic tropes, right? Because there are a lot of them out there, and they're deeply embedded into our society, such to the point where sometimes you can just accidentally do these things, right? And talking about the story about the Jewish individual in the tech startup or whatever the fuck it was, right? Like you could say, hey, I had this individual. And it seemed like he was not prioritizing
hiring black individuals, right? That's something that happens all around from people from different races, right? White people do this. Asian people do this. Name your race. They all do it, right? They all do it. That level of anti-blackness. This is not a Jewish thing. Let's not pretend. Sorry.
You're saying that because other people do it, he can't talk about a specific problem that he has with a specific set of people? Because everybody does it, that precludes the ability to have the conversation over, hey, I want to talk about this one community, how it relates to entertainment.
Is it a community Is it the community that did that, or an individual man?
Demographic. There's a demographic of people, and they have some shared trait. We don't do this with anything else. When Vivian is on here screaming stupid shit about cisgender people, you never say, hey, wait. Well, you can't say those things about cisgender people. You never say you can't say those things about men. You never say you can't say those things about white people. But because this is a black man,
here's why I'm saying that. Okay, go ahead. You go first.
Because this is a black man, and because white media has taught y'all to do this to black people, you do it to black people. You don't do it to any other. There's not a single other demographic where you've had this nuanced conversation when they're calling out an entire demographic.
No. Don't put that on me. Fuck that shit. And fuck Kanye West, right? No, this isn't because he's a black guy, right? No, don't put that bullshit on me, right? No, this is because he's an anti-Semitic piece of shit. A fucking moron who's finally being called out for the terrible individual that he was. No, excuse me. Like the problem is that with those other groups specifically, we're talking about this. Let's say it was an Asian person, right? Who screwed him out of a business deal, right? And you're saying, well, Asian people, you know how they are with business deals. That's not a trope, right? That's not a trope of Asian against Asian people, right? It's an anti-Semitic trope to say that Jewish people are shifty, untrustworthy in business, greedy, all those things, and Kanye West, he's hitting all the check marks, right? So he's saying anti-Semitic things. He's actively doing that. I'm saying that he can actually criticize this individual. He can't criticize this individual for doing a thing, right? That seems to be a shady thing, right? He can absolutely do that. But when he brings us in, he is helping the anti-Semitic the anti-Semitic current within our country. It's been there for a very long time.
This is the racist bingo card. This is the infinite leftist, everything is a dog whistle talking point. What you're saying is that he's had an experience with several different people, which you listen to across all of his interviews. He's listed, he's not specific. He's named fucking 12, 20 people.
Yeah.
One thing that those 12, 20 people have shared is there ethnicity,
I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. I'm going DEFCON.
Yes.
That's on Jewish people.
Yeah.
On Jewish people.
Wait. I'm gonna finish.
Please finish.
Like I said in my opening, I don't agree when people do this, right? I don't think that we should say, hey, because a lot of people in this demographic have presented themselves in some way, I'm going to say it's the whole demographic. I said in my opening, I don't like that. What's different here is all other demographics do this and they don't get this type of attention. We don't have panels over Mixed Vivian saying all cisgender people are stupid and racist and blah, 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 and transphobic. We don't have panels over that.
That's not a
we
thing.
Cisgendered aren't a protected class.
We have panels when a black man does this.
No, and it has nothing to do with him. But come on, Mel Gibson was a piece of shit. We've talked. We've talked about Mel Gibson. No. We've talked. No, you're saying we only have panels on black people. We've talked about Mel Gibson in the past. Okay,
I was going to modify that. And specifically, usually when it's either the perpetrator is black or the target community is Jewish. That's when we have these conversations.
No, hold on, sorry. When are these conversations, right? Specifically about black people and specifically about Jewish people that we've had on this fucking
not
platform,
about
right?
this panel.
So that's what he's saying. That's his claim. I'm saying that we talked about everything. Sorry, go ahead.
We're I think we're slightly delayed. I'm talking about national conversations. I'm not talking about specifically here on Twitch.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
Yeah, I think
that's related to his
before you go,
popularity.
Cam,
Oh, you good?
I was just gonna say before you go, like you're not gonna find me or GSU Gambit defending making broad generalizations about people. But it's undeniable that when Kanye West is talking about these people or whatever, he's talking about his interactions that he's had with several members from this group of people. Obviously, it's fine if you want to say he's not being eloquent or particularly precise with his language.
You're wrong.
That's fine. But okay, go ahead.
You're wrong.
Explain.
He's not talking about some people. He's saying that he believes in the big question, the Jewish conspiracy. Just entertainment or just music.
I mean, Bam. Wait. I want Prime Bam to honestly answer this question. When you've listened to Kanye interviews, when you've listened to the things that he's said, are you telling me right now that you seriously consider the fact that he could be talking about mom and pop Jewish person living in the ghetto or living wherever? Do you think
that's not what the big question is?
A specific set of elites. What do you actually think he's talking about?
This thing about Jewish elites is in itself an anti-Semitic trope, right? Like, I'm just talking about the Jewish elites. I'm just talking about the Jewish elites, right?
There's white elites and there's Jewish elites.
No, Kanye doesn't agree with you. Kanye does not agree with you. Exactly. There's only Jewish elites, and then there's him. There's a couple rich black people.
We can't even say that there are Jewish elites in this country. Jesus Christ!
No, not that there are Jewish people that there are elites.
Why do you have to point out that they're Jewish?
Wait.
There are elites in this country. Why must you point out they're Jewish?
Have you never talked about white elites?
Okay.
No, I don't talk about white elites.
Because we're taking it's a diagnostic test of cultural patterns and cultural movements that you see happening amongst different groups. That's what we're talking about.
I know.
I can't believe you guys. Wait, I can't believe you guys find it
just like when we talk about black. Can you hear me? Am I muted?
Yeah, we hear you.
No, I hear you.
Just
I'm like, I see Tubi talking. I'm like, I know this Negro ain't talking. No,
run it, Ozzy, run it.
Don't be racist, bro.
I'm sorry.
Bro, that's
no.
I'm taking away.
We do the same thing when we talk about black elites. We do the same thing when we talk about white elites and elite. When we talk about groups in general, we analyze the moves they make in tangent to each other and to other people, and we make conclusive statements.
Yes.
They may be general, they may be very specific.
Elites are an out-group.
Farther than that, bro. Me and Doobie and I are on a panel with Prime, arguing with him about whether it's okay to call white people, what was it, Karens or some shit. Yeah. Like, you guys are okay with like doing that stuff and going that far where you're actually using a racialized term against people. Kanye is broadly gesturing at a select few people in a population, and because
you're being dishonest.
No. But y'all don't like it when he talks about Jewish elite people. Y'all white.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
racist.
And then also some stuff. And then some stuff that people are calling anti-Semitic. Some stuff that people are calling anti-Semitic. I don't even understand why it's anti-Semitic. Like the lost tribe. Hold on, the lost tribe of Judah stuff. Like, is that inherently anti-Semitic? We're talking about this spiritual concept of people that Moses freed from the fucking from slavery or whatever.
That didn't happen.
Kanye's like, I happen to think that those were black.
I never heard of it, so I don't know.
People are like, no, they can't fucking be black people. That's anti-Semitic. You're robbing us of our heritage. What are you talking about?
Whoa. No. That's something different. Whoa, the black Hebrew Israelite people that are Jewish.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Black Hebrew Israelites are a fucking hate group.
Yeah.
I don't think any of you guys have actually watched Kanye's interview.
Nobody can hear anybody when y'all keep talking. Y'all have to listen.
No, this is heated. I'm sorry, man.
What I'm saying is this is like
in the interview that Prime leaked, y'all, Kanye specifically talks about the difference between what he believes and black Israelites. He believes that black people were the slaves that were freed. The black Hebrew Israelites talk about being kings and queens as if they would have been Pharaoh. If you listen to the fucking interview, you would have heard the distinction that he was making and say, hey, those people that have those ideas are not me. I disagree with them. And y'all are saying he's making Hebrew Israelite talking points. They hate. They would hate what this nigga says.
Wait a minute. Okay, again.
Wait a minute. Real quick.
Kanye
wrong.
Kanye said verbatim. Okay, is this just a screaming match? Is this what we're doing? Because this is
I haven't said anything this whole time.
I mean,
so
neither.
whether you watch the interview
Who wants
or not,
to speak then? Somebody speak who wants to speak.
And getting mad because they obviously
All
right. Calm it down. So, like, I still have more to say on the Black Hebrew Israelite thing, but I want to hear Bam respond. Smooth hasn't got a chance to speak at all. So, and I'll right. But I still think you guys are wrong on this thing. But we'll deal with it later. Sorry, Bam.
Yeah, like specifically, like it. Y'all are like redrawn. I guess like trying to soften up what he actually said in the interview. Like we didn't all watch the exact same interview. Kanye said verbatim, "I'm being anti-Semitic, and there's nothing they can do about it." He said that there's nothing he just can drop me, and I'm being anti-Semitic. And y'all are Kanye didn't say anything anti-Semitic.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
He said
I can be anti-Semitic, and Adidas will never.
You don't see your ears when you hear words.
Wait. I'm gonna finish my sentence because I promise y'all.
Finish, please.
So and like. And you'll keep and you're framing this thing as if like, oh, Kanye said that, like, oh yeah, there's a couple of Jewish people. He named 3 guys in the room, and that was the only people he was talking about. No, Kanye specifically speaking to the Jewish question about a secret group about Jewish, like not just some Jewish elites, that the elites of the world, the entire world is ran by a group of Jewish people. There's statistics.
Not the entire world. Bro.
That's exactly, but that's what he's talking about.
He's always talking about in the context of
but the way he came to that, respond later. The way he came to that conclusion was he happens to be invested in entertainment, and there is a large number of Jewish people in the entertainment medium. But Kanye has taken that and branched it out to the entire world being controlled by Jews. That's exactly what he's talking about. There's no other way to. Let's move though. Y'all don't respond to that.
No. We got to let's move. He hasn't said anything.
I've been trying to respond to that particular point all day because I feel like people didn't listen to Kanye at all. Like because he literally is only talking about music execs. He's literally or the people that he's built with in fashion and all that. He's only talking about the people that are literally in his way. That's it. He's only talking about the people that he's dealing with, and he's talking about those particular people. That's it. Those are the only people he has a problem
literally
with.
Can't be
Because look. If he inherently hold on, wait.
Let him finish.
Bro, wait. If he inherently hated Jewish people, he would not have tried to make up with Drake at all. He would never associated with Drake because Drake's Jewish. Any people that's with him. No, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. If you're saying
excuse me,
anti-Semitic, period.
Let him finish.
If he's purely anti-Semitic, he would never associate with Drake at all. At any given point in time. But never.
This is
the bottom line of this is Kanye's narcissism.
That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is these Jewish elites have an agenda, and if I don't do and dance like they say dance, jump when they say jump, they're gonna kick me out. And when he made those comments on,
you said it right the first time.
When he made those comments on Drink Champs, he never said anything in particularly that was anti-Semitic. He was just challenging them. He'd been poking the bear for a long time. He's been poking the bear for a long time, and he's like, I want to see what you'll do. I want to see what you'll do. I want to see what you'll do. And finally, they felt like they had enough ammo to where they could do this. And with the way culture set up with cancel culture,
who is they?
They can actually go after.
Who is they? Who is they?
Yes,
they felt. Who's they?
The Jewish elite.
He felt like
the Jewish elite. The Jewish elite had enough ammo.
That's what Kanye's talking about. Yes.
The Jewish.
I said the Jewish elites that Kanye was talking about. And you said, "Oh, the Jewish elites."
No,
you gonna flip me in real time?
Hold on. I was talking to Smooth. I thought Smooth said
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go to.
It is.
Let's go to Al.
So I'm like actually like really confused about this panel, how it's been going so far. Like, are we gonna deny that there are Jewish people who are elites? There are Jewish elites. Are we gonna deny that like there's preponderance and like an overrepresentation of Jewish people in certain sectors like finance, media, fashion, and so on and so forth? Like, you
The
know,
Ivy
these are
League.
factual things.
It's
Ivy League, secondary education. You know, these are facts, and I don't think it's necessarily, unless we want to say that there's all of a sudden this concept of hate facts, where if we just talk about certain facts, that automatically makes you hateful. I think I reject that wholeheartedly. I think that we should be able to, as adults, you know, who have rational functioning faculties, be able to point at actual reality and say this is what's happening. And then when people get crazy and trying to like go into conspiracy theory mode, we can actually tell them, no, that conspiracy theory is wrong because XYZ, we know exactly why it's happening and how it happened, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it is the way it is. Like,
So
you know,
That's not what we're talking about.
and to add on what Al and Gambit was saying. Think about who they're actually canceling. Out of like that, of all the things that was said throughout the years when it pertained to like Jewish people, like you know, Jewish people or Jewish people in charge, the one person they ended up canceling the most and taking all the money from the most was a black person. Like that, like he was calling out the elitists in all these companies, and they got all in the same circle and decided to like, okay, he wanted to talk about us, saying like we're doing this. Let's go ahead and show him like what true power actually is, and how our influence can actually take him down at, you know, just a snap of a finger, just like that. Like Yamba said, or 2 billion lost, or right now at this point, for the last time I read, it's almost at 3 billion, where he's losing all these investments, he's losing all these business deals that made him apparently $6.6 billion, and with all these people that are in charge of these companies who just happen to be Jewish, that own the majority of the company, they are showing him that we are making you as an example for nobody else to say this about us ever again. That's what is going on. So they are basically proving Kanye West's point that if I talk outside the narrative, I would be so quick to get canceled. They're basically proving his point.
No, he proved his own point.
yeah, by being a fucking bigot.
If
But you go first. You go
I did
first.
say this blatant statement, but I need some proof. I need like a trail of
Yeah, can
comments,
y'all actually provide?
anti-Semitic
We can read
comments or
callbacks if you
actions,
want.
because people say a lot of things that, I mean, that, and their actions can be completely different. Kanye could have tons of Jewish people in his circle that he probably does have a lot of Jewish people in his circle that he has to brush shoulders with because he's operating at a place where people are operating with billions of dollars. So he probably has a very diverse circle, but neither here nor there. I need a trail. I need you guys to bring up something, or at least 3 things where Kanye has said that it was clearly anti-Semitic, bigoted against the
They
Jewish
can't.
community.
No,
They're only going to say
not
they
words. Words
they
are
didn't
cheap.
listen to him. They didn't listen to
I
him,
don't
so they're
wanna
just
hear
going to
it. I
say
don't want to hear the association with Candace Owens. I don't want to hear the association
We
with
don't need to.
anybody from Fox News.
as
Yeah,
we don't need
what
to.
they're going to say is he dog whistled because he's not said
I
anything.
don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
I wanna hear stuff that Kanye has
no
done
one's
with
saying that.
individuals
I don't know.
that
Oh,
make that-
I can start reading quotes whenever y'all want me to. I promise
I
this
wanna
is
know
Okay,
ahead.
please do.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's
Go
hear
ahead.
these quotes.
Let's see.
Quote mining from the past. That's so
No,
cute.
Well,
from
where
these
else will we fucking
interviews.
quote? The fuck? No,
I gotta quote him in real
Quote
time.
mining from. I'm sorry. We
Quote
have to
mine
wait till
from
it
the
comes out of his
future.
mouth. Quote
Y'all
mining from
literally
the
asked me.
past.
You need to pull up things he said.
No,
No,
he
I said
meant
I need
no. What he
he
actually meant was what he said in the future, right? Like he
Yeah, you
hasn't
need a
said it's
quote
in the
mine
future.
from the
You can't
future.
pull those. Anyway, whatever.
All right, let's go.
ahead.
Let's go with these quotes. So let's go.
Again, y'all have made the argument that he's talking about a very specific group of people, not Jewish people generally. Let's
I
see
think
here.
He's talking about sometimes Jewish people that have, and
No,
because
no, no.
you
Let
know,
him let him
talked
get
about
these
his
quotes out.
Jewish doctor.
Let him get these quotes out.
Yeah, literally. Diddy hit up Kanye just talking about the White Lives Matter shirt. Diddy, another billionaire. Kanye's response: I'm gonna use you as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me. As if so there's
That's the
not just
elite
media
he's
elites.
talking about earlier.
They're saying that there's secret Jewish people that called Diddy and told him to call Kanye.
The elites.
And
That's
the elites. Yeah, the Jewish elites.
tweeting. Let's see.
It's the same thing.
Again, we know about the DEFCON
Give me
3
another
Jewish
quote. Give me
people.
another quote, man. Let's go. Let's go somewhere else.
Hold on. Let's see.
No, sorry. We got to. We'll have time to circle back. Let's get these quotes out there, and then we'll circle back. All right.
Yeah, I'm bad. It's a long list. I'm trying to pick out the ones that are like more relevant than the kind of like side of it. No, I'm not trying to find.
You're trying to find.
Listen, Jewish people. Listen, you're saying it's anti-Semitic, but I don't believe in that term. One thing is, black people are also Jew. I classify as Jew also. So no matter what I say, it's not anti-Semitic.
That goes back to the thing I was saying earlier.
No matter what I say, it's not anti-Semitic.
Bam.
Hold on.
Jewish people own the black voice. I'm coming from a place of love and a place where we're not owned by Jews.
Hold on. Do you want us? Hold on. I want to know, Bam, from you. Do you want us to write these down and address them later? And you're gonna enumerate an entire list, or do you want to go one by one and have a conversation?
I just told him to.
Yeah, I'm just reading off. Like I said, that's why I was just reading off relevant terms.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
And then you guys can come. You guys can come back a little later. I'm gonna give you time. You guys can.
No, cool. Can you read the first one again?
If I was on medication right now, the pill could have been swapped out, and it would be Michael Jackson and Prince all over again. I know what the Jewish people are trying to do to me. Again, now what media company is switching out his pills and saying that the Jewish people murdered Prince and Michael Jackson? Is this
talking about the execs?
What execs are murdering?
Bam. Hold on, Bam. If a woman says niggas ain't shit, is she misandrous?
Does she hate?
If she makes that statement, niggas ain't shit, would you say that this person is misandrous and should be labeled as a person that hates men?
No, but if they get more specific to say that if I let a man into my house, he's gonna rape me 100%. Like then I would say that would lead to. If you're getting to specific details of what they're trying to do, you can probably get misandrous real fast.
So you're saying that you can make a statement that calls out an entire demographic, and we all cognitively understand that you're not actually talking about the entire demographic.
What part of the demographic are you talking about that's going to sneak in pills and murder?
When women say niggas ain't shit, are they not talking about the niggas that typically lie to women or blah, 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 right? Like you understand that, right? Intuitively, when you hear niggas ain't shit, you know, okay, she's actually talking about these type of people. She's not talking about me, even though I'm a man. Would you say that's true?
You can make that justification.
No. Would you say that's true?
No, I don't. I don't think this is a relevant.
So when women say niggas ain't shit, you think they're always talking about you?
No, I think when they get specifically and say niggas that wear black hats and blue shirts and glasses on Tom's panel.
Bro, come on now.
That's what I'm saying. But you acting like he didn't name a general statement is what I'm saying. He said he gave very specific details. He didn't say that like, oh, somebody's trying to get me. He said that someone's going to sneak out my pills and murder me. Like, the Jewish people are going to murder me like Michael Jackson and Prince. And you say that, oh, maybe he's saying execs are trying to do music. You're saying he didn't say anything specific. Like that's what I'm saying. It's not a good comparison.
You think it was Michael Jackson? That was the
So you think
was that the execs were being really maliciously compliant and just allowing Michael to essentially just work himself to death and surround himself with people that were convincing him to take pills and go on tour when he didn't need to. When
this is all part of a conspiracy. And again, whether you believe it's true or not, we are getting into what's definitionally a conspiracy territory. So when you say that
that's a conspiracy, but that doesn't make it anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
I
mean, it's anti-Semitic conspiracy. If you're saying that it's Jewish people in power that are secretly killing niggas.
On a Cuomo interview, he talked about a Jewish underground media mafia. Like what? Like, and I guess that's not a conspiracy too. Underground, yes, just like the gay mafia. That's running Washington.
Okay,
right?
I think we're not going to get anywhere.
Another cabal, but I guess it's not really cabal because Kanye West said it, right? I guess not.
No, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with this.
And not around the statements, because that's what we're doing. We're coloring the argument instead of just.
I just think we're having a disagreement about who Kanye West is addressing when he says Jewish, and we're just going to disagree on that because the people who have watched the interviews understand what he's saying. The people who haven't watched the interviews and just have read news articles that say Kanye West says goes on anti-Semitic.
I've watched every minute of both interviews.
You can try that, Chubby, but it's not going to work, right? Try your best.
No, it is actual
No, it's not going to work. No, excuse me. No, excuse me. No, excuse me. It doesn't matter, right? Like, so I can acknowledge. Well, hold on. Shut the fuck up, Chubby. Shut up for a second. I'm saying that in those interviews, right, he can actually point to individual Jews, right? I'm not saying that he didn't, that at some point that he wasn't talking about individual Jews, right? But then there are other statements where he's talking about all Jews, and that's a problem. That's the issue.
No, he can point a laser or he can use a bullhorn. Is it a laser or a bullhorn?
These statements have not.
Hold on, Prime. You think that in any of those statements he was talking about all Jews? Which one of them do you like? Because I think you have a list in front of you. Which of the quotes do you think he was pinning on literal all Jewish people? Which one was it?
That's not what the Jewish conspiracy is about.
Oh, no, wait. We're not talking about the Jewish conspiracy. We're talking about Kanye West, and you're saying that he made anti-Semitic comments. I don't want to hear your dog whistle bullshit.
Anti-Semitic doesn't mean that. Anti-Semitic doesn't mean he hates all Jews. You're framing is carrying the statement. That's being dishonest.
Jesus, I can't even talk.
Because you're saying it's dishonest.
I just want to talk to Prime, man. I really do. I'll talk to you next, I promise. So, Prime, which of the statements that he made that have been enumerated here would you say he was
about the Jewish underground media mafia? Is that more than one person?
Hold on, wait. You think
that's all Jews?
See how that's dishonest?
No. The media that he's talking about.
Okay, that is an anti-Semitic trope right there. Right?
No, I don't care about the word dog whistle. I don't care about the word dog whistle.
Hold on, did I say dog whistle? No, this is a fucking bullhorn. This is excuse me. This is not a dog whistle. I didn't say it was a dog whistle. I'm saying it's a fucking bullhorn. This is an obvious, very common anti-Jewish trope, right? That the Jews are controlling the media for the purposes of shifting the culture, right? Controlling the world through the media, through the banks, through everything, right? This is it, and it's the Jewish elites who are doing it. So yes, when he says a Jewish underground media mafia, that's exactly what he's touching on. So yes,
Prime, do you have a study to debunk that, Prime?
It doesn't include every individual.
Wait. Everyone shut the fuck up. No, shut up. Everyone shut the fuck up. Ow. I need to focus on what you just fucking said, right? So let's be fucking serious with what you just said. Did you ask me, is there a study debunking that the Jews are controlling the world? Please tell me you didn't fucking say something so fucking stupid that we have to toss you out of here. Please don't tell me you didn't say something like that. You weren't so dumb. You were such a fucking moron to say something like that.
I was being
right?
a little bit silly.
Don't fuck around like that. Don't be silly like that. Don't do it. Not here. Excuse me. Shut up. Don't do that. Excuse me. No, shut. Hold on. Whoa. Don't traffic in that here. Don't do it. Thank you.
I'm not trafficking in that. I'm just
got it. Thank you. No, sorry. Stop talking. I don't know why you're still talking. I don't get it.
All right, that's fine.
Please stop.
We don't have to talk about this anymore. But in the meantime, we are trafficking statements that are blatant character assassinations of a man without any definite, conclusive evidence. What you guys are saying are a bunch of colored arguments that you're saying based upon the tropes of other people. Yeah, two people can make the same statement. That doesn't mean they mean the same thing. You could have somebody who's blatant anti-Semitic, who does anti-Semitic things, versus somebody who says a bunch of things. And then if I'm dealing with the three statements Bam gave me, all those things have to do with individuals dealing with the music industry. So
do y'all think Donald Trump doesn't like black people? Because I'm sure he has some black friends.
Like some black people,
but like generally, do you think that Donald Trump is like?
Who knows?
No, of course not. Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about black people in general.
I'm just curious what y'all say, because I don't think Donald Trump, as awful as he is, has said something anything verbatim like as like on his face as bad as the things Kanye said.
No, I don't know inherently how Donald Trump feels about all black people. I know David Duke doesn't like black people. I don't know if Donald Trump is the same as. I don't know if I can read Donald Trump like I can read David Duke.
I didn't.
No, but you're asking like it's a trivial question. It's not a trivial question. He probably doesn't like certain things about certain cultural aspects about black people. Does that mean that he doesn't like black people? No. Does that mean I can broadly state, or even if he had a presidency, unless his presidency was dedicated to him directly trying to harm black people, which you could argue for, that's fine if you want to do that. But no, if you ask somebody, unless they're like really particularly biased. I don't think most people can, by default, a priori, say like, "Yep, Donald Trump for sure doesn't like black people." David Duke,
that's not the
you
standard.
absolutely can do that.
That's not.
Why?
That's not the standard. I'm holding you to for sure.
I'm not saying it's I'm
the
saying
reason
for
I asked-
sure you can say David Duke
I
doesn't like
didn't
black
ask
people.
you
Why?
for sure.
Because
I
he's
asked
made
you what
open,
how you
obvious
felt.
statements.
Do you think that if someone said, "I'm not voting for
I'm
racist
saying I don't
as Donald
know.
Trump," do you feel like you would say, like, "Wait a minute,
That speaks
now
about his
Donald Trump's
followers,
not
not
racist.
him.
Show me the quotes," or do you be like, "I can see why you came to that conclusion. I don't know for
No,
sure,
that-
but I can tell based on what you said, I see how you
I
came to
think
that
in the
conclusion."
conversation, if we were gonna say Donald Trump is racist, like you all are saying Kanye West is
No, I
anti-Semitic,
just said the things you
somebody
said.
may ask for proof. No, this conversation is over. Is Kanye West anti-Semitic? So don't use the like, hey, we're having a conversation. Somebody says Donald Trump is racist. Are you gonna challenge it? If we came here to congregate to say, is Donald Trump racist? That question would be valid. What things has Donald Trump done or said directly that lead you to believe that he's racist? That would be the
didn't
first
remember that
question
being
that
a
anybody in good faith would ask.
I thought the question, because we all did openings. The conversation that I'm having was, has Kanye said things dumb enough to justify the reaction he's gotten? And I say,
absolutely.
But
And
they're
so
not-
we would
why are
ask
you
him-
moving the
we would ask-
argument
We would
around?
ask for statements. We would ask for statements about Donald Trump. We would provide those statements, but then, right, we wouldn't be giving Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt, the endless benefit of the doubt. Doesn't matter what. It literally doesn't matter. It's amazing, right? This is interesting that we arrived at this point, right? Because I didn't know this existed, right? It was my fault because I thought we were had some sort of consensus here. No, apparently we don't. It took Kanye to shake this loose, where like we can say we can touch on every anti-Semitic trope there is, right? He can hit them all, he hit the checklist, but like, was he really talking about them, about the Jewish people? I don't know. Maybe he was talking about one person, right? And maybe he was just being anti-Semitic against one person. I guess that's allowed too, right? But like, but these clearly statements, right? If he had said anything like that about, if Donald Trump said anything like about that about white people, or sorry, excuse me, black people, I'm sorry, then you would never give him this level of grace. Never. It's disgusting.
I got bad news for you. I hope somebody digs this up. There's a specific all black everything where somebody said Donald Trump was racist, and this exact conversation happened. And it was like, validate that you feel Donald Trump is right. This conversation has actually happened. Not only has it happened, it's happened on this platform. Here.
I can't read Kanye's heart. That's not my. I'm not asking to read his heart.
What was the
I'm
outcome?
saying that he said stuff that's effed up enough that I can understand why a company would say they no longer want to associate with him. And that's
well, bam, yeah, we
one,
can all agree.
Al
to
is
that,
one of the ones who've been giving him that kind of grace, but like I was ignoring him. Like I'm talking about the rest of you, right? Al doesn't know. I know what you're talking about. Al was the one who did that. And then Brento and all the rest have also jumped in on that. And also this nonsense about like, Kanye, he wouldn't have talked to Drake, right? If he's not anti-Semitic.
Can't be Semitic. He's
right. Like racist people can't like socially deal with people they're racist with. That would mean those music executives, right? None of them are racist because there's all these black people working with them, right? Well, they hire black people if they weren't racist, right? It's a nonsense point.
To be a little bit more genuine, I think what he was saying was not that Kanye has a black friend, but that he was trying to resolve a conflict with him. I still understand that you can disagree with that, but he wasn't just saying, hey, he has a black person that he's cool with. He was saying, hey, they had a very big disagreement. Shit almost went to guns, and he tried to resolve the conflict with that person. If he was anti-Semitic, it's less likely he would do that. I'm not saying that you can't argue against that, but I'm saying that it isn't the conversation that you just tried to have.
No.
Yeah, that's
no. That's sorry. You clean that up. That's not what he said, right? In any case, even if
that's what I meant.
That's
yes,
no.
that's
I'm
what
sorry.
I meant.
No. He can still man your argument for you, but that's not what you said. That's not what you meant at all. Don't bullshit. You still man. You made a better argument for you. Okay.
Please let me talk. Prime. I promise you. I didn't really clean it up. I did add some words, but he literally said him and Drake were beefing. He wouldn't have resolved the conflict with him.
And it's a dumb argument nonetheless, right?
You can argue that it's a dumb.
If you can argue that's a dumb argument, that's a bad faith articulation of that argument. If you say that's a dumb argument, it's a specific example of Kanye dealing with a Jewish person. Nevertheless, he's black. But He's a Jewish person.
And he didn't immediately execute him, so he
Public
must
beef.
not be anti-Semitic.
Public beef.
Oh my
We're taking sides, and people could have literally died.
No,
People could have literally died. Anytime I see somebody, and I'm gonna just make the point, and then I'm gonna bounce back. People could have literally died, and Kanye sought to resolve the
that
conflict.
doesn't mean anything.
I'm to bounce back. When I'm usually dealing with somebody,
anti-Semitic, he would have not
racial
resolved
No, that doesn't. Wait,
Hold
racist
on,
people.
hold on, wait. Let
Racist
finish.
racist people can have relationships and have friendly relationships with the people they're racist against.
Because they're a good one.
They can and they can repair those relationships for all kinds of reasons, right? Racist people, hold on, racist people have that awareness. They're not just idiots, right? So you're saying that a racist person, right, like tried to repair a relationship. Well, obviously they can't be racist. That must absolve them, right? Even though you have all these statements from them being racist. That's nonsense. That's a terrible argument. So like I said to GSU, right? And like I'm saying this move, it's a dumb argument.
Wait. So
Can we let Azzy finish? He was actually trying to go somewhere.
Okay, we're not talking about repairing a friendship. We're not talking about resolving or recouping a business transaction. We're talking about somebody. When I'm usually dealing with somebody who is bigoted towards me, and I do something that they don't like, they usually use that negative action against me, and they either end it or they seek harm against me. And I've had to cut myself off. And we've seen that multiple times to the point where it becomes, that is empiric.
Were you being racist against them in the process?
Racial eminence, who are actual bigots. Anytime somebody does something so if somebody is anti-Semitic and a Jewish person does something wrong, you usually see people take violence or do something to the detriment of that person. You don't see them trying to resolve. Beyond the friendship, beyond the relationship.
No.
So back to where we were before we went down all of that. Prime, you were saying that the statement about a Jewish media cabal, as you're calling it,
they're wrong. Maybe they won't let us in.
You're saying that he meant that to all Jewish people. Are you going to stand by that?
So to be very clear, right? I'm saying that he is relying on that. This is an example of a trope, right? Anti-Semitic trope that is used against the greater Jewish community. So he can say, right? He can say this one person is a representative of the Jewish underground of media. Oh, sorry, whatever it was, right? Whatever I just said, right? He can the cabal, whatever. We'll just call it the cabal. He can just say that he can refer to a one person, but that is the representation that you're part of this grander cabal that Jewish people are part of, that this thing exists. That is the anti-Semitic trope. So we can say Mr. Goldstein is the guy, right? But that doesn't matter because it can be
deemed as, you say anti-Semitic trope. No, they can be deemed as anti-Semitic statements made in the past by anti-Semitic people, but that doesn't mean Kanye himself is an anti-Semite.
Yeah, when I say black people are violent, right? Ignorant, violent thugs, right? People in the past said it, but like maybe I'm not racist, right, or anything by saying.
I think so. No. So I think the problem was
it's like when black people get up in front of a TV and all these white people. And I'm being I don't even have to be. Do I have to be anecdotal? No, not really. If something happens and you have two distinct parties, a white party and a black party, and the black party says against the white party, that's what white people do. Are all the black people now hating on white people just because they all said that statement? Do they all hate white people? They all have racial animus against white people? Every single individual who makes that
casual statement to like 7 hours of interview.
Are they all?
You're talking about a passing statement.
So Bam and Prime.
We're dealing with.
I dropped a link.
Kanye made. We're not dealing with we're not dealing with concrete actions that he has taken to the detriment of the Jewish people.
So look, I dropped the link, right? So look.
And that hurts Jewish people?
Wow. Yes. So the link I dropped, these are the people that Kanye's talking about. Like, if you just give that a quick scroll, you're gonna just start to see Warner Records CEO, Atlantic Records CEO,
Smooth.
this
Can I ask
other
you a question?
CEO of this music group.
Can I ask
No,
a real quick
it lists
question?
off
Just a
all
quick,
the people that
quick
own
question.
and all that other stuff, and then you go into television and all that other jazz, and it lists all, and it's like damn near every major company.
It's a 5-word question. Can I just ask it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it correlation or causation?
What you mean by
Well,
that?
it's just a list. It's not correlation or
obviously.
causation. It's just a list. But
It's absolutely
the point.
correlation.
But hold on. Wait.
He's asking, is it correlation that they're Jewish? And yes, unless you're going to be. But the thing is, he still can say that this correlated group of people
Yes.
use their power to hurt black people in this way. And he can talk about the specific people and the specific harm that they cause. And in doing so, he can mention their religion or ethnicity or whatever we want to call it. I hear that can even be anti-Semitic to call it one and not call it the other. So like the thing is, the media that he's talking about that is attacking him has set the game where y'all are so like mind fucked that everything is anti-Semitic that you can't even talk about a group of elites in our country that are doing anti-black things. Like we can't even formulate sentences to call them out because that in itself is anti-Semitic. Like that's how set the game is.
No,
and
people
y'all
have
are
this conversation
idiotic to go along with it.
Listen, they asked Lear Cohen on the Breakfast Club, would he promote just a regular like black artist that was like kind of like a Joyner Lucas or like a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar? He was like, nah, like I like the presence that, you know what I'm saying, the for lack of better people, not trying to pick on these people, but you have like your 21 Savages, you have like your Kodak Blacks, you have your Young Thugs, you have your Gun. He was like, I prefer them. You know what I'm saying? Those street dudes that promote the street activities, that do all those things. He's saying, I prefer them. And then they were like, well, would you do that if they were of this other thing? And he was like, what? And he like deflected immediately from it. Charlamagne kind of asked him a question that kind of dealt with them being of like a different like race or nationality. Like if they weren't promoting negative black stereotypes, would he support them? And he was like, nah, I'm kind of more into this business, and he wouldn't support them if they were doing it of. I think it really was about Jewish people. But I don't remember that interview because it's been a while. But like he literally was asked the question, and Lil Conan is one of these Jewish elites he's talking about because Kanye's had beef with him too.
Wait, don't be anti-Semitic, Smooth. You can't say those two words together.
Oh, my bad.
Y'all being so
There's never been an elite who is Jewish for the first time.
You know that's not what we're discussing.
That is what we're
no, it's
discussing.
not.
That is what we're discussing.
No one has denied the reality that yes, there are especially in entertainment and media, there are a lot of Jewish people in positions of power.
But
that conversation has been had over and over again for the last for a number of decades.
Okay, but Bam,
this isn't a secret. What Kanye was doing was different from that. Jay-Z talks about these things every day. I think he has his issue. I don't think he's like
wait.
But I'm saying that
anti-Semitic too.
So Bam, finish your point. Then I want to hear from Tubi, who hasn't said anything.
Yeah, I'm saying, like I said, it's pretty disgusting how are y'all framing this conversation of like, oh yeah, he just happened to mention a couple of Jewish guys and then they decide to ruin his life. Kanye has been on a media tear for weeks. They're like, we're talking about like several hours of content specifically going on and on about Jewish people. You can have these conversations about Jewish people. You can have the conversations about media, but that's not what. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's not what Kanye's doing. What he's doing is way more sadistic. And the reality is, Kanye has faced zero like real consequences. All that's happened is the companies companies that he freely chose to associate with him have decided that Kanye is bad for branding, but obviously he is, and have chosen to disassociate from him, which is absolutely everything in here is capitalist. That's exactly what you would describe to doing under capitalism. You would say like, okay, if I don't want to shop at a company, I just shouldn't. If you got a problem, you control your dollar, you do move your money. But now you're saying, how dare they move? How dare they?
He's gonna keep talking so nobody else can go.
Okay. No. I said Tubi. Tubi hasn't talked for a while.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, bro!
I want to interrupt Tubi too.
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. I love y'all. Bambi, I think you were the only person who has given me so many near heart attacks this conversation. Oh my God, bro. But nah, dude. I mean, look, I think that when you because I want to go back to the Jewish media cabal thing. Like to me, when you guys call that anti-Semitic, I understand. Like I think GSU myself as he understand why that could be anti-Semitic, right? Like because there is a theory come up by Nazi sympathizers who say that like all the entire world, all of the world's power structures are controlled by a Jewish elite, right? Kanye is saying that in this small sphere of a select set of media companies, which you guys have already admitted,
And
there
doctors.
is a high represent. Hold on.
Hey, Bam, stop interrupting, man.
You're right.
There's a high representation, like you guys have already admitted, there's a high representation of Jewish people in this particular industry. Kanye West has been in this industry for like 20 plus years. He's had interactions, I'm sure, with the executives or the lead people at these industries before, and he feels that they have in some way blacklisted him, censored the way he speaks, censored the way other people speak, have selectively cherry-picked certain artists who spit out deleterious messages to his community, even said they wouldn't support certain artists that were speaking more conscious messages that would actually lead to the I don't want to say it would uplift black people, but it would just have less negative image, less negative okay, sure, if you want to go that far. I don't think it's going to lead to that kind of effect, but it's just less deleterious shit being promoted. And you guys are saying because he's saying that he feels like this small sector of society, which has a high representation of these people and who he's had personal interactions with, that he has judged to be deleterious in this particularly pointed fashion. He's saying these elite people, and they are Jewish based off Kanye's interaction with them. He's saying these select people, that is a network of people who he feels is shaping the black image or in some way affecting black people's culture in a negative fashion. Not all of society, not the government, not the whole world. This small set of people who he's personally interacted with. That's equivalent to you guys to making a broad statement about the entire world is run by Jewish people. And like,
yes, that is.
to me, it seems silly to say that we already know that people have in-group biases for sure. We know, and I don't even know why I have to explain that, but for sure people have in-group biases. For sure those biases stratify across people's races and their religious background.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just unfeasible to you guys that there could be a collection of people who share a certain identity, who are in the same industry, whose kids probably go to the same schools and stuff like that, and that they could want to help other people out who look like them and who are their business
Stop being anti-Semitic.
They go to the meetings. No, I'm sorry. I think it's just it's bullshit, right? Like sure. You can name individual people, right? Like you could do what you just did, right? And name these individual people. Okay, I have a problem with these people. These people are a problem in the industry, right? And if you
but do you have to every time you have a problem?
Individual
yeah, no, you could just say the Jews, I guess. Sure, I guess you can do that.
The blacks, you could just say the Mexicans. You could just say the.
Of course, you have to name them.
Prime, do you name individual Republicans when you rail against the right? How many times
have you named?
Oh, I named Trump.
A political group is a buy-in. That's different.
Sorry, I didn't hear what to be said. I didn't hear what to be said. Please,
but the principle is the same.
I'm saying, Prime. I know for sure at some point we've had some kind of racially motivated conversation. Even if I wasn't on the panel, I'm sure I've watched some panel that you've hosted where there was like a Karen or a white police officer who. We perceive the killing to be unjust or whatever of a black person, where you've just said, oh, this is what white people do, or white people something. You've referred to a whole group as white people. I know you have.
He said
you didn't
all
just name
police are bastards.
He said
all police are bastards.
They are, and first of all cops are bastards. I'll never take that back, right? But what I'm saying is that like I'm not anti-white. But hold on, no. But it matters. Sorry.
Let you be.
Pretend the word. Let's not pretend. So here's what you're doing, right? Here's what you guys are doing. You guys are doing some sort of special pleading, right? For specifically Kanye West, right? Because I guess he's black, so I guess he gets a black card. He gets to pass on. It gets to do all this thing. And I guess we can't apply context to his words, right? No. So for Kanye, right? Oh, we gotta remember his mama. His mama was a Black Panther, right? And apparently we're supposed to give a shit. I don't give a shit, right? Fuck that.
No, give him a pass, bro. Give him a pass.
Fuck that and fuck him, right? Like, we can actually look at the history of those words, right? It's not random words he's using, right? It's not a random collection of traits he's assigning to these Jewish individuals. No, it just has to be the same old anti-Semitic traits that we've seen for centuries, right? But you guys are all like, despite him saying the exact same thing that white nationalists and neo-Nazis have been saying, right? And then, shut up. And they're literally repeating his words. They're saying Kanye was right. Literally, neo-Nazis are doing that right now. What the fuck are you talking about? Hold on, shut up, because we can get this fucking out. Yeah. Kanye West is saying the exact words that they've been saying, and now they're repeating those words, saying Kanye was right, repeating everything they do. They're using him as a leader. Why? They're not using a random black person as a leader who has a problem with Jewish people. They're using him because he's doing the anti-Semitic tropes in public. He's helping their cause, right? Like, they've identified, hey, this guy's a useful idiot. Emphasis on idiot, right? He's a fucking moron. We can understand this, right? He's a useful idiot that's saying everything that we've said in the past, right? But apparently you've divorced this context specifically for Kanye for some fucking reason. It's
okay, hold on.
What media company is Planned Parenthood connected to? Because he's also because you're talking about just media companies.
No, there's a Jewish.
He literally said that. But he said that Planned Parenthood was black people's never
kill
again.
all black children.
Wait, say that again, Dan. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Was also used to kill the Jews.
No, he said that the
wait.
Jewish elites were also controlling Planned Parenthood, and that was black people's never again.
And that's a quote?
Yes. He said that's our never again.
We know that George.
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea.
What media company is Planned Parenthood ran by?
Yeah, George Soros.
What network is Planned Parenthood run by in general?
Please don't talked about like Democrats with this forever. I don't know where we're going. I don't know.
Just quickly.
I mean, I just never heard that. I've never heard that.
Just quickly. Twerking Nutella. It's just business. I apologize. Twerking Nutella. Home and Smooth. My man Smooth here. And Water Kai gifting a sub. Putting us at level 1 boost trade. Guys, support the channel. This is like, if you like these arguments that we have all the time, right? These passionate arguments, then support this channel so I can keep bringing these people on. We can keep having these conversations, right? I can keep dominating GSU. But yeah, support us.
Today is
level
happening.
2 boost train. Sub to the channel. Give bits or give subs. If you have Amazon Prime, says Prime Gaming, use that. One free sub per month. On this channel, we have 3 minutes on the clock, 50% left. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt. So I think, was it two people were talking? Sorry.
Yeah. Just to respond to some of the stuff that you were saying, Prime, like, I don't think we're asking or we're making a special language exception for him. I think for Kanye, I think we're just saying, like, GSU offered an example, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just an example to point out the fact that, when he said, I don't like saying this word. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. When GSU said niggas ain't shit, I'm sorry. It pains me to say that.
Kind of hard.
No, but when GSU said that, he's just pointing out the example that people can speak in broad terms, and because we're smart enough to understand that, like, they're speaking to a particular kind of interaction that they had. Like, when a woman says that, she could be talking about literally every person. Well, one, she could be talking about specifically every black person that exists, or she could just be talking about every man that exists, because sometimes people use the N-word to refer to people generally versus black people specifically. But most people would interpret that to mean that the set of men that she's interacted with ain't shit. I think also when you say white, like when we talked about those instances where you've covered a police shooting or something that's happened for unjust killing of a black person by a white cop, or Karen doing Karen stuff, whatever. When you say, this is just white women doing what white women do or whatever, I don't think I mean, you could be referring to all white women. I don't think you are. I think you know that there's a certain subset of white women that you're talking about. So we're saying that same kind of thing that we can do, that same. Oh, okay.
You're being too genuine.
We have 90. Sorry, quickly. We have 90. Oh, Leah, hey, Leah, 15 subs. I was gonna do the thing with the boost train. Leah, thank you for the 15 subs. It's really kind. 3,425 subs total from our friend Leah. Thank you for the kindness.
Nice.
Really kind. Thank you for saving the hype boost train. And I think that put us in the level 3 boost train. We'll find out in a second. But thank you for the kindness, guys. If you want to support this channel, you want to keep this up, right? You want to see us have these conversations in the future, please help us out. Can't do it without you. This is community driven. 38% done for level GSU apparently cares about these things, right? Despite how I yell at him and get vicious with this man, he does support. So I will take that away from him. Thank you so much. 330 subs total from my man GSU Gambit. Thank you for that. It means a lot. Like I seriously, it doesn't happen. But the people on the screen here, and the people out there who are supporting, because that we're a level 4 hype train, 25% done, 75% left. What happens? Block? Can we get to a level 5 boost train? And remember, when you do that, you get more attention to the channel. More people stop by, they check out the content. We've gotten some follows from the last hype train boost train, right? So please consider helping us out. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. I think it was GSU you wanted to cut in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I got that wrong.
No,
I've been requested by the chat aisle are Jew psychic vampires.
I'm sorry, what did happen?
Wait.
Are Jew psychic vampires.
All right, well, let's just GSU,
no, let's ignore that, please. Let's go. GSU Gambit.
I know what it was, but I think you're being too ingenuous to Prime, Tubi. So we know that there are Black Israelites who have said, very injurious things about white women. So when Prime is making those statements, we should consider that potentially he's using dog whistles to show some sort of camaraderie with those type of hateful people. So I don't think that you can just weigh it off as, Prime actually was only talking about a subset of women. I think that we have to look at the whole context. Like, Prime is Black. He's seen Black Israelite stuff before. He's actually in bed with those people. That's the way that we should.
And you know what else? Actually, GSU Gambit, you forgot a detail. Wait, hold on. GSU forgot a detail.
I be talking about all.
I actually saw a news story about some Black Hebrew Israelites, and they posted a banner above the freeway saying that he's right.
So
actually, you're a bigot, Prime.
Here's the problem. So here's the problem. And I'll clearly respond to this, and then Azzy, you're next. I promise. You're as soon as I'm done talking, you're next. But to be right, you said you speak in a group sense to these other groups. I do, I absolutely do. You're right. I do that, right? But I'm extremely careful on how I do that. I don't use tropes against marginalized groups. So right, I can say that hey, I had an accident. I was we had an accident. A car accident with an Asian individual, right? A guy happened to be Asian individual is one hit me, right? What I'm not gonna say is that, well, I guess it's Asian women specifically, but I wouldn't say that Asian women in general can't drive. This is another example of that, right? That Asian woman hit me, and this is another example of Asian women just not being able to drive. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't traffic in those tropes, right? If I did do that by accident, I would apologize when confronted that, because I don't play that game. So when I'm talking about our Jewish brothers and sisters, right, I'm very careful about what I say, right? Especially because I'm a big Palestine supporter, right? And people try to say, oh, you're anti-Semitic, right, for supporting Palestine over Israel. No, you're absolutely not going to put that on me. I won't let it happen, right? And especially to do that, I'm extremely careful of my language. So no, I wouldn't traffic in those tropes. Hold on. I promised Azzy. I already promised Azzy. He's got to go.
No, it's a small jab. It's a small jab. So notice that you asked Prime about. Notice you asked Prime about white women, and his statement was, "I don't use tropes against marginalized groups." This is more evidence that the white women that aren't a marginalized group, he's hateful towards them. He had to go to a different example where he used Asian women. He couldn't even stay on white women. I'm telling you, he's a black Israelite.
I'll deal with that later. But as he first, and we have a minute left on the level 4 boost train. 25% down, 75% left. Sub to the channel, give bits or give subs. Every little bit helps us out. Increases the attention we get to the channel. So help us. So more people can see this conversation. Hopefully, it won't get us fucking killed. Thank you, Waterkai, for the
We're on the way.
bits. Awfully kind of you, right?
You need the support right now.
Hopefully, this doesn't get us banned. All right. So, Azzy, I promised you. Please go ahead.
Surprised we haven't been banned already for all this white hate that we've on this platform. I'm just like, I want to be like Rob TV right now. I'm just like, what? Like, what are we doing right now? But anywho, I just trying to play Angel's advocate for this whole time for the argument that you guys have given so far, right? So yeah, there are anti-Semitic tropes in the statements that Kanye has said before, right? If not, and I'm not even gonna add anything to it. It's dangerous because, like you said, groups who are truly anti-Semitic will take his words and they'll say he's saying what I said and he's right. He's he like me for real. Like that's what they're gonna be like, and then that it will embolden them, which in turn will harm unsuspecting Jewish people who have nothing to do with the conversation at hand. Right? So yes, I'll give that to you. But I'm not going to go as far as to color him as an anti-Semite. I will go as far and say that these statements are dangerous. I said this in the very beginning. They're dangerous. They're trollish. Right? Because we know Kanye has a context of just saying things, especially in these casual settings where there's alcohol and there's a lot of people who are emboldening him to say it, because a lot of those individuals he's having conversations with, they say the same thing. I was just listening to underground rapper Math Hoffa on his podcast talk about all the Jewish people in Jay-Z's circle and his circle. Look, they're rappers. And this is how they talk in this circle. We're talking about the music industry. A lot of these people feel emboldened to say this, especially in the circles that they keep. So, but they're dangerous. That doesn't mean they're anti-Semites. They're not automatically Hebrew Israelites, or we're not gonna go out like we're intelligent enough to make the distinction between somebody who truly hates Jewish people and truly want to see the downfall of Jewish people versus somebody who's just making critical statements against people, especially when they have like some type of wrongdoings going on in their past. We're smart enough to do that. I'm smart enough to say Prime doesn't hate all white people when he says something, that is derogatory to
That's to be determined.
You hate all white women, Prime? Can I ask you that? Ben,
I have made love to too many white women.
A general statement about white people.
Hold on.
I walked right into it. I walked right into it. I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose.
And a white woman. Did you hear that?
I did it on purpose.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me a racist person can't stick that penis in them? That's what you're trying to say.
Because they're not marginalized.
Well, Prime may.
Stupid enough to say that there aren't people that truly hate white people, and just because they're not marginalized, the statements don't matter anymore. Like I can say whatever I want to say about white people because they're not marginalized. I feel like that's what you're trying to say.
That's hateful. That's so hateful.
Jeez. Is this the standard of the conversation we're having? Are we trying to read Kanye's heart? Because I can't do that. That was never the conversation I was having. Again, I accept your answer as he is dangerous. Like I said, I take it as far as like it was stupid, and like I said, he deserves every response he's getting for it. I can't read this. I don't know what he does.
Everyone in their intro said it was dumb.
Everyone in their intro said it was dumb. That literally hasn't been agreed to. Blaze and I'm pretty sure Gambit have both said that he should still have all his deals.
I know you trying real hard to be.
Well, hold on. There's a difference between saying you think that
if he deserves it, then he should.
Hold on. Wait.
Chill.
Damn, you have said a lot of stuff that Prime has said. So you are now in alignment. We're Prime.
No, I mean, I'm just saying that I don't care about reading his heart. Like we're making the
why wouldn't you be in alignment with Prime when he's right?
Damn, do you think Kanye?
Okay, fine. That's fine.
Prime's dead fucking right.
I'm sure. I'm just saying I'm not gonna jump to that standard. I don't need to be correct.
intelligent enough to understand what each other is saying.
I don't have to
Ben, do you
defend an
think-
extreme. I know when Kanye goes to sleep at night, he goes to sleep and says F Jews before he touches his head, touches his pillow. I don't know that. I'm just going by what he said.
To be, you want to respond?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I think almost. I mean, maybe GSU Gambit didn't, or maybe Azzy didn't, or whatever. But I think almost everyone. I said it was a damn shame. I said it was a damn shame that he spoke the way he did, because any positive change that he could have enacted because he was a billionaire, he squandered it because he was ineloquent with his language. And I said, if you want to believe what he says is anti-Semitic in the way that the other side is arguing, then I can't. What am I going to tell you? Like, I can just tell you what my reading of it is. And if it is anti-Semitic, and also, let's be a little bit charitable with each other. Like, GSU Gambit, myself, and Azzy are not arguing in favor of anti-Semitism. Let's be clear with that.
That's true.
We're not arguing
Neither
that
is
it's okay
Kanye.
to
He's
hate
just saying it
Jewish
doesn't
people.
exist.
Well, hold on. No. What we're arguing about is that GSU Gambit, myself, and Azzy think we have, because we've watched more because we've watched interviews and we're taking into account
I've watched
our interpretation of the available context, that you guys are applying a more broad application to what he's saying than what he's actually saying. That's the only thing that GSU Gambit, myself, and Azzy are actually arguing. Okay, we're not arguing. Again, I think it's important to say this because I don't want my situation to be fucked up or anything like this. None of us think it's okay to hate Jewish people or, hope that the second coming of the Holocaust is enacted or anything.
Absolutely.
We are not arguing for
None
that.
of us. Absolutely none of us. Just making
This
sure
is a
none of us.
disagreement on the context. And now, Bam, you would say that we're trying to read his mind.
That's cute.
I don't.
No, I'm saying no.
I
That's the standard you're holding. You're holding me to. Do you know that Kanye goes to sleep at night being anti-Semitic? I'm saying I don't know that. That's not what I'm here to defend. You're making me defend the point I never actually defended.
Hold on. To be clear, we're holding you to what's a reasonable interpretation of his words.
Reasonable interpretation is people should lose
the
the
reason
deal.
why I keep saying niggas ain't shit, the reason why I keep saying all cops are bastards and all of these other things is because the reasonable interpretation of this is that people aren't talking about the whole demographic, even though they're making a hyperbolic statement. So I'm not holding you to reading his brain. I'm holding you to a reasonable interpretation, which I now understand is my flaw. Because why the hell am I holding you to what would be a reasonable interpretation given some of the shit you said?
GSU. If he had said, he could say hyperbolic statements. His whole career has been hyperbolic statements, right? If he had said, right, well, all Jewish people can swim like fishes, right? Like, okay, that's a weird hyperbolic statement. Maybe saw a few Jewish people who can swim really fast, I guess. I don't know, right? Who won the Olympics or something, possibly, right? But whatever, right? It's a weird statement. But he will lose absolutely nothing over that, right? People will just like, there will just be a question mark over everyone's head. What the fuck does he mean by that? Who knows, right? But the specific things that he said, right, are specifically anti-Semitic tropes that have been around for centuries, right? That's the problem. He didn't pick those things out of a hat. I'm sorry, he didn't.
My problem is I don't think it is. I agree with you that there are some people who espouse anti-Semitism. And when those people do that, they're usually talking about some worldwide cabal, some total control over governments and everything. He's not made any of those statements. He's talked specifically to the arena where he is a mogul and he has interaction with lots of people. It just so happened that the things are true that he's saying in this isolated arena. And that's what he's talking to. He's made no broader statements at all. That's like me saying, hey, I've interacted with a lot of XYZ people and I'm using XYZ as a variable, but XYZ people on Twitch. And when I interact with this group of people, this is the vibe that they give off to me. He's doing the same thing. So somebody else can hate this XYZ group and they can make more broader statements. But just because I have some targeted disagreement with them doesn't mean that you're like, it's reasonable to like belly in all the other like anti-hate that group gets just because I said one thing against them.
Right.
And this is where I specifically, hold on, I'm almost done, I promise. Okay. This is where I specifically do hate the media that he's calling out because they've won this. This isn't even a real conversation. There's no changing y'all. They've won the conversation of if you call any of us out and you talk about us as a collective, that's anti-Semitic. That shit is burned in y'all's brain. You can't hear anything else, and that's the problem.
Yeah, the way you're being dishonest because you know that he said other things. You're saying you're like they don't work towards your argument. He's specific again. He said that they got Diddy to call him, and the Jewish people are changing. I don't know what part of business media that is. He said that they're
the elites.
No, elites can't do that. That's not a thing to happen.
He just did it.
That's a conspiracy. So, and again, he said that they control Planned Parenthood. That's no part of business media. That's talking about the global cabal.
Planned Parenthood was used to kill Jews.
And he said the Jews are black people in that case.
And he says a lot of dangerous stuff and a lot of silly stuff. We all
yes.
Wait.
We're saying that everything he's saying is super rational and targeted. No, this man. Honestly, again, this isn't being ableist. I think
being disingenuous,
and I think he just talks sometimes, and he has a lot of money, so people listen.
Bam hasn't listened to.
Okay, I actually want to ask.
I'm 7 hours of content on this. Stop saying I haven't. I watched the entire championship.
But you didn't listen.
You
watched it. You didn't listen at all.
You watched every minute
while you were over there.
I mean, the Piers Morgan, yeah.
Bam.
Okay, I have a question. I have a general question for the people because
Tubi.
I don't even know how I feel. I don't even know how I feel about this shit. Like, do you guys think it's reasonable? Do you guys think it's reasonable for people like when Kanye says like that black people are Jews or whatever? Do you think that that's like anti-Semitic? Because like I understand that, you know, maybe that idea has its origins in the Black Hebrew Israelites or whatever. But again, like Gambit has said, Kanye has kind of separated himself from that. He's talking about as black people. I believe that we're the Jewish people mentioned in the Bible because they're slaves and black people are slaves. And just like they were freed, we were freed. Like, is that anti-Semitic? Because like that's being called anti-Semitic. We're talking about
if you say that, you probably buy into a lot of other weird things.
I'm not willing to go that far. I'm not going to die on the hill of that specific statement. That one I'm not going to die on. Maybe he's trying to make some sort of new. Well, no, he's not making nuance. He's too stupid for that. But like he's trying to make a point. But I'm not going to die on the hill.
Kanye's not stupid. He's not
just a bad conspiracy.
He is a smart businessman. When it comes to businesses, he does.
He just lost $2 billion. Name a smart businessman that did that.
Because of how the people.
So let's be
smart business.
A lot of that money is not 100% his. A lot of that money are investments that are.
No, it's not cash flow. It was his share of Adidas. I mean,
but even though you explain it that way, did he not lose it? Did he still not lose it?
He didn't lose it. He didn't lose it because of business acumen. He lost it because the media that he was talking about attacked him, and like some people
lost it because of lack of business acumen.
Some people would no. He understood.
Conduct yourself in interviews is a part of business.
He understood everything that was happening. The problem is there's a lot of people with small brains that can't see through what the media is doing. That's the problem.
So tell me about all the other geniuses. Tell me about all the business geniuses who are saying things that are comparable to Kanye West who aren't getting punished. Please tell me about all the great business geniuses, because he's a genius, right? And there's some other geniuses, or maybe is he a singular genius? And he's the only one who thought about these things about the Jews, right? No. So like, give me examples of all these other people. I'm trying to give the point up. So give me other examples of all these other brilliant businessmen, right? Who haven't been punished. Love to see it.
I hate that we hadn't even get into the George Floyd comments either. Like we didn't even get to what he says crappy stuff about black people, and we give him a pass.
Anti-black.
That's the only reason the Jewish community had to handle it.
Can we go there? Can we go there? Can we go there? Can we go there? Seriously, talking about him saying he understands because he had a knee in his neck because he lost so much.
Yeah,
is that not disrespectful?
Well, originally it was because in the interview he had said that that George Floyd died from an overdose. It had nothing to do with the police officers. Yeah. Like and plus the White Lives Matter stuff. And then the girl ended up calling him out. Like, well, the George Floyd's family ended up suing him, and he said that I'm gonna take back the money I gave to George Floyd's baby mama if y'all don't quit playing with me.
He's pro-black. There was a lot of dumb people that got on Instagram and posted, and he actually sent money. But
so you agree what he said about George Floyd?
No, I'm trying. Literally was about to say that. So we can say that we don't like the comments that he made about fentanyl. for sure. I'll say that. I hated it. I think that there was a trial that were two different sides, and I think the prosecution won. That nigga's not in jail because he murdered him, period. So I think that those comments were bad, but that doesn't mean that everything that he says is bad.
No, I'm just talking about that point. I'm
Yeah,
saying,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm saying,
disagree with him.
but why did, but the thing is, I'm saying when you say things like that, as a community, that should have been enough pushback as is. That should have been enough. We shouldn't have been defending him for 2 hours. We should have said that, okay,
Wait,
this man
no,
ain't here for the community.
No, what I want to do is one person made some ridiculous or wrong comment somewhere, so I'm going to let you just lambast them with every terrible trope that you can. Like, no, I'm not even talking. Like,
we're on two separate conversations. I'm not talking about that. Even though I agree with the other side. No, I'm not talking about what other people do to him. I'm saying, why didn't black people react? Why are black people defending?
No. You said why in this conversation did we spend 2 hours talking about the other stuff? Because I'm not going to let you lie on him about one thing just because he made a bad comment about something else.
I'm asking you a question right now about something. I'm saying that why was that not enough for the black community to respond, irregardless of how other community
did respond.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't respond. I mean, people who disagree.
We didn't ignore it.
About George Floyd.
I think we talked about it.
Well, hold on, but I think he has like a really high-powered lawsuit by George Floyd's family going,
and they're saying that, and people are mad at George Floyd's family. People are defending.
Okay, but hold on, but wait.
Man enough for
okay, wait.
Kanye has already apologized for the George Floyd comments. Black people have heard the apology
because he lost money. He said that now this is the equivalent to a knee in my neck. What Kyle brought up.
Floyd hurt black people, and now I apologize for those comments. He's not about the money. He said that it hurt the community. The comments.
Okay, regardless, even if it is about the money, Kanye doesn't want to spend 200, or he doesn't want to potentially lose 250 million. You asked why hasn't anyone responded? I think that's a pretty powerful response. You're going to get sued for $250 million.
The individual family,
and there's some people who disagree with the ruling in the George Floyd case, and some of them happen to be black, and so they're voicing their opinion on it, and some of them agree with the ruling on the case. And so they're voicing their opinion on it. The previously mentioned, the former, they're going to be mad at the Floyd family because they think like what Kanye said was true. That's not an argument for like why nothing has happened to Kanye when he said that. He's getting a pretty vigorous response. $250 million lawsuit.
No, from the family involved. I'm talking about the larger, broader black community.
Hold on, please. I think everywhere black people exist, niggas have been saying, I don't like what I don't know where the fuck you've been for the last week. I haven't been around black people that haven't talked about it. So when you say like nobody's like literally my entire world
about it, I said that every black people generally are doing what y'all niggas is doing and tap dancing for them. That's what y'all been doing.
I don't know that that's the case, bro.
I literally said, don't.
Kanye's a genius. Maybe we need to rethink what happened to George Floyd because Kanye said it.
When Kanye came out, it's a
not on ABE.
Watch Blaze to do it. Blaze got his shoes down. That Blaze said
rappers that was going after Kanye for what he said.
Don't cut his mic.
Blaze never talks. Let him talk.
Let Blaze get in. Blaze, it's your turn.
No, because you saying that like black people didn't come at the Kanye, y'all? Yes, he did. Yes, they did. There was a bunch of rappers that came at the Kanye for his support for Trump. You had freaking T.I. saying he's out here kissing ass to Trump. He's out here tap dancing for Trump. You had you had freaking Jay-Z pissed off at Kanye for doing that. And even still, you had freaking people come at the Ice Cube for even having the audacity to go talk to Trump about the black community. And then the whole slavery was a choice thing. Black people was pissed off at Kanye for a long time. It's just that when the media got involved with his comments, that's when he lost everything. So yes, people are pissed off, and the whole
what do you think?
George Floyd's family is suing him for $250 million. He was mainly quoting things from what Candace Owens said in that documentary. So how come they're not suing Candace Owens in the Daily Wire? Why they going after Kanye?
And this is the thing. This is the thing, though. I hate what Kanye said, but I also even more than hating what Kanye said, I hate what our culture is becoming. If this nigga is disagreeing with the ruling of the court case, you mean to tell me that can be a lawsuit? I don't want to live in this world. I don't want to live there. Like, that's absolutely batshit insane. We can say, hey, Kanye, I don't agree with you. That I think is irresponsible. That's just dumb as fuck that you did right there. But the idea that somebody can be sued for disagreeing with a ruling on a court case in a country where we disagree with fucking court cases all the fucking time is fucking bananas. So people like you that are like acting like this shit is okay, it's absolutely
I never even brought up the lawsuit. What you call it? Tubi did.
You said
no.
I
said that I said the black community didn't respond. I'm saying that I'm asking. Blaze, I'm talking about. They should there should have been a broader disagreement with that. Blaze, what do you think? What do you think about this? Blaze ain't really involved. I'm gonna take what Blaze says as fact right now, because Blaze isn't super involved in what we be doing right here. Blaze, what you think of what Kanye been saying about the black community for the last few months? What's your opinion
about how he said that he's not part of the whole victimhood mentality thing?
Yeah, what you think about that?
No, I agree with that because there's been so many years that black people have used the whole victim mentality thing for a long time, and me personally, I feel like we have the capability to be a lot more better than that. Like we don't have to rely on crony ass white Democrat politicians or the fucking Republican side for trying to get us done. We can do that. We can do that ourselves, and for the past couple of years, you've seen a lot of black people take their black kids out of these schools because they're failing. Now those black kids. And homeschooling them themselves, and now those black kids are doing way more better than private schools and public schools.
Like the Donda Academy, that's what they need to be sending their kids.
Yes, I mean,
okay,
okay, but bam, hold on.
Wait, I got no question. Wait, go. This man tell it like it is. What you think about So slavery was a choice?
Wait, bro. Before you ask the next question, hold up. That I don't think proves anything. I'm sure what Kanye West has said about the wait. What Kanye West has said about the African American community over the past probably 3-4 years, that's a bipartisan issue within the black community. Like people who are more conservative or et cetera, they're going to agree with Kanye's more conservative takes. He has switched political leanings over the past couple of years. So the people who share his political leanings, those are the people who are going to agree with him.
People,
if you're liberal,
who's talking right now?
I don't think
he's
so.
off the screen.
Okay.
I don't. Well, I think black people are, like Candace Owen already existed before Kanye West said any of this shit. Like black people have been gradually moving towards a more conservative occupancy of the political atmosphere. So Kanye, in fact, I think Kanye is actually being recruited to that side because of people like Candace Owens and other conservative black people. I don't think black people are becoming conservative because of Kanye. I think black people have become conservative, and Kanye's a black person, so he's also becoming conservative because he falls into the cohort of black people who are being more convinced by conservative politics.
There's always been some portion of black people that were conservative as far as like social values. That's always been the case. But what's happening is in the black community, when we look towards leadership, the first thing you look at is who are celebrities and who are the most wealthy. And Kanye being at the top of both of those lists for a lot of people, it's going to lead, like it's not just people he has an opinion and people who happen to already feel that way agree with him. Kanye is actually shifting people's opinion because people do believe that Kanye's a genius. Everything he says that comes out of his mouth, like that man really got a point. He's a deep thinker. He's a
Kanye West.
Kanye West. Bro, why you talk like a slave? Why you start talking like a slave when you talk like conservative?
Listen, Kanye West Kanye West ran for president and only got like 40,000 votes. Kanye isn't influencing people. No, listen.
He got on the ballot in like 12 states.
Tubi said is right. There are certain people that are looking at hot button culture issues, whether that's adultery, whether that's like gender or sex ideology. A lot of people are looking at those things, and they're I said abortion first. A lot of people are looking at those things, and they're moving more conservatively because of those things. And Kanye is talking to some of the points that are moving those people more conservative, but it's not that Kanye is leading people to conservatism, bro. That's wild.
Yeah, he's not conservative.
He's trying.
And also you need to
trying.
But hold on. Also be honest too, Bam. This is not surprising, first of all, because
I think most people here know that traditional black culture tends to be more socially conservative. Like that's just a fact, right?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Right,
And
they tend to be socially conservative.
Found God, and with God got a little bit.
Can we say this, that like I can agree with you that Kanye doesn't have the clout, right, to bring people to conservative, like the Blexit thing, right, that Candace tried to make happen. That's not happening, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, ain't happening. But can we agree that even if you disagree, right, even if you guys don't see it the same way, that Kanye West's comments are anti-Semitic, right? Can we at least agree that people who certainly are anti-Semitic, right, like neo-Nazis and such, are using his words
sure,
as a propaganda piece? Okay, we can agree on that one.
For
That's
sure.
good.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but you can't divorce yourself from communities picking your stuff up. So I agree with you for sure.
That's true, right? But they're also not
for sure.
using...
I think that's unquestionable.
Okay. They're also not using Jay-Z's words. I'm not saying Jay-Z is right.
They do actually.
They do? I'm sorry. I missed it then. I missed that. What did Jay-Z say?
Some of the same people who Kanye have called out called Jay-Z anti-Semitic because of his last album and how he talked about black people need to start to form communities to make money like Jewish communities. So yes, a lot of people.
I haven't seen that, so I will make a statement about it.
And you also know what's funny? If I could just say this, Charlamagne the God said the same shit Kanye West said 9 years ago. He still has a platform, a Comedy Central. He didn't lose his bank account. He lose none of that. He came out and said people up top, like Jewish people, they have the most power and they are the most coordinated. He still has a platform, but because he's more on the, I want to say he's more on the left side of politics, he gets a pass for what he said about those comments. Nobody really called him anti-Semitic back then, but now that video's re-submersed. Now a lot of people, especially the people on the right, I'll talk about it. How come Charlamagne still has this platform?
So
wait, Blaze, before Prime responds, did he say people up top or did he say Jewish people?
Jewish people. Even Jewish people.
I think he said Jewish people.
I don't think that's problematic.
I made a video about this on my channel. He said the like people in charge are mainly Jewish and they're coordinated, must control the masses.
Sure, so I'll say one thing on that, right? That like, and we didn't really get to really touch on this, right? On like why like a bunch of other people, the other people have said anti-Semitic things, right? And I think the best example is Mel Gibson. You can say Charlamagne said that one thing. I don't know enough about Charlamagne's history, so all I can go on is what you're saying, right? So he said that one thing, which is bad, right? But I certainly wouldn't advocate for anyone to. Well, I wouldn't say that like that should be enough to lose your platform, right? For that one thing. Okay, I'll just put that out there. But a guy like Mel Gibson, a garbage human being who was extremely anti-Semitic, right?
What did he do?
Can we agree with that? Can we agree that Mel
Gibson?
Gibson?
Know what he did. I know nothing about Mel Gibson.
He went on.
Mel Gibson was wild. He
went on extremely.
Who played Jesus and Passion of the Christ?
Passion of the Christ.
He made Passion of the Christ. He didn't play Jesus. Okay, well, he's a very big actor.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, he's a weapon. Very big actor. Like he got pulled over by a cop, right? And he was drunk, and he was like yelling at her, like saying, like, "Are you a Jew? You know, Jews are like ruining everything." We can find these, and not just at that moment. He made several anti-Jewish comments, like for a long while, right? And then Whoopi Goldberg tried to cape for him, like she does for everyone else who's a bigot. But anyway, Mel Gibson, right? Like there was a huge backlash against him at that point in time, but he's back and he's making movies, right? So it's like, what's the difference there? I think that's a very good question. The best I can say is that like we've advanced, like from when when Mel said those comments.
Gibson is white, of course, is different. He's not going to get canceled like Kanye.
So maybe there is a racial aspect, but like I'll say that like there's been an advancement, and like we are more sensitive as a culture, and yeah, we actually take action against individuals. So like it feels like.
Has Tucker Carlson
I'll just leave it there.
Tucker Carlson has Banks rescind his accounts and stuff? Does that happen?
He didn't. well,
He made
Kanye
no
didn't lose
affirmative
his,
statements.
Kanye didn't lose his bank account because of this. So we've already
Yes,
established that.
Tucker
Yes.
Carlson.
I will
No,
say,
he
just
did.
meeting y'all
Statements.
somewhere, the wildest thing that Kanye the wildest action I've seen is Goodwill said they ain't even taking Yeezys no more. And I think that like he'll even make no money off of that. I'm like, Goodwill? Homeless people can't even get no Yeezys. Like I was like,
Adidas is still selling the slip.
that I was like,
Adidas
that's
is still
wild,
selling
boy.
them on the other platforms.
Wait,
Gap
what?
Well,
is
yeah,
still
because
selling
Kanye don't own
Wasn't
Kanye don't own none
Democratic,
of it.
hold on.
them.
Wasn't there a Democratic politician that was being anti-Semitic like a year ago?
Yeah, Ellen Homar. That's what I've been kept trying to say.
Yeah, like these niggas everywhere. Like,
What, hun? What? Sorry, who?
Oh,
That was a-
Ilhan Omar
that was a
did get
Democrat-
backlash.
we have somebody in Congress who's a true anti-Semite.
No, she no,
she
no,
almost
she's
lost
not.
because
No,
of
hold
that.
on.
She
Ignore
said-
Al
she
because I don't know what the
said
fuck he's
something
talking
about
about. She is not
Israel
an she is not an anti-Semite, and
She
specifically
dog whistles,
she specifically apologized for those statements. Right? Where's Kanye West apologizing? He can't. Oh, he can't be anti-Semitic because he's a Jew. Is what he said. Right? Because he's a fucking moron. But like she made a statement
What did
that
she say? Yeah.
It wasn't even that bad. It was like it was on the edge line for a politician.
It was the one I think people were thinking of was when she said
right here.
Okay, go ahead.
She said, Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them see the evil doings of
What?
Israel.
Conspiracy?
Gaza, Palestine, Israel.
The one conspiracy y'all niggas are saying she's not because get out of my face.
It was about Zionism. Yeah, that's what it wasn't. But it was like it was on the line that I'll get why she apologized.
And she
what
she
almost
do?
lost because of
Hold on, what did she do? Did she apologize? Hold on, hold on. Did she apologize?
She's not anti-Semitic because she apologized?
No, it was hold on, that's Zionism.
You-
Zionism is different.
So if Kanye West apologized, then we shouldn't.
No.
You would say
I want to
ignore
make sure you
that,
understand
right?
my
Okay,
argument.
great.
Make sure you understand my argument.
That's to save her job.
Yeah, I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Okay. You have said all of this stuff about Kanye West and how it's a trope to a world cabal and all of this. I almost said this bitch. Jesus Christ. This chick actually said world cabal stuff. And you're saying because she apologized, the thing that she actually believes, just because she apologized, she no longer believes that she's no longer anti-Semitic. This nigga didn't even, he only talked about.
No, that's not even close what they said. She said way worse things.
And he absolutely, okay. All right. So we have, we said just now with Charlemagne the God, come on, didn't I? Charlemagne the God, according to a Blaze, right? Charlemagne the God says that Jewish are I forget what it is. Jewish are controlling the music industry. Right. Anti-Semitic troop, right there. Anti-Semitic troop, right? And did he not apologize for that? Am I mistaken?
No.
He probably didn't. It was just so long ago.
Okay. Well, then, all right. Then I don't know what to say about that. Okay, never mind. Right. But my point is that if you make a singular statement, right, should you lose your platform? Right. What did I say? I said no. Correct. Right. Okay. Right. So she said that, and then she apologized. Right?
Wait, another
I don't wait. I think you're down. You don't even have to. I don't even think it was necessarily anti-Semitic. It was Zionism. Like there's a difference between Zionism and anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism. They lie on a weird line, but like there's some overlap there because that's what Mark Lamont Hill got kicked off CNN for.
Wait, hold on. Hey,
and he didn't say anti-Semitic. Yeah, he said anti-Zionism. You're right. You're right. It was anti-Zionism.
Wait. I want to make sure I'm understanding this because y'all are literally blowing my mind. So I gotta think I'm getting something wrong. Did the statement that I'll read, was that correct? Saying that Israel is controlling the entire fucking world? That's not anti-Zionism.
That's why that's not Semitic.
The world. May Allah awaken the people and help them see the evil.
They've hypnotized the world? That's not anti-Zionism. That has nothing to do with just the Israel-Palestine conflict.
I would probably say that's anti-Semitic, right? That one.
Yeah, I think it was worth apologizing, but I think that was Zionism.
I would say that was anti-Semitic.
She apologized to save her job.
Wait, Bam. What is more cabal like than they control the damn world?
Yeah,
Nigga?
I don't know. I would say that it was,
I think it was worth apologizing for, but she's specifically talking about the nation of Israel. She's not talking about Zion's anti-Semitism.
Who lives in the
Jewish
nation of
people.
Israel, Bam?
I don't know.
Zion. Again, this is you not knowing. This is you not understanding the issue. Because I've had these conversations. There's a big difference between Zionism and Semitism.
There is, and this one's anti-Semitic. I agree that there's a big difference.
Gambit, nothing in our statement did she say anything about Jewish people.
I don't.
She's talking about the nation of Israel.
Who lives in Israel but Jews?
That's not. You don't understand the issue.
Wow,
No.
That's a whole other issue.
I would. Okay, I see what he's trying to do. I see what he's trying to
And
do.
it was still worth apologizing for.
I don't necessarily agree with your framing here, but I see what you're trying to do. Because that's what like the pro-Israeli lobby tries to do, right? When it try to say that Israel equal Jew, right? And so like if you say something against the Israeli government, right, then that means you are anti-Jewish, you're being anti-Semitic. That is bullshit, right? So I will never hesitate to criticize the Israeli government on the treatment of Palestinians, right? But I feel like for these comments, as was read by, and it sounds familiar, I believe that's what he said. I believe I was correct, right? I believe those comments were anti-Semitic, and they should have been apologized for. So I think
she nearly lost her election because she did face consequences. I think she lost a big portion of her voters because of that. Are you saying that people should have been forced to vote for her again, or do you believe that people can voluntarily?
Wait, Bam. All I'm saying is that she
That's
didn't
my
use a
question
bank
before
account.
you
That's all.
go.
No, I'm literally answering it.
You didn't hear me. You said, "Oh well, wait." I'm saying, do you believe that those people should have been forced to vote for her again, or do you believe that people can voluntarily associate and decide that, like, because of the action you said, you're going to face the consequences of I'm going to disassociate myself from you, which is what happened to her.
Okay, listen. I think people have the right to vote for racist people in this country. So yes, her constituents could still vote for Ilhan Omar. I'm not saying that they couldn't.
You're not answering my question. I said, should they have been forced to vote for her again because she lost constituents because of that? She nearly lost her election.
I don't get the question. No, nobody should be forced to vote. I don't get that dumbass question, but the answer is no. It can't be a way that I'm going to say people should be forced to vote. I don't even know what the fuck your question was. But what I will say is because of her political affiliations, what happened to Kanye has not happened to her. That's
it did. She lost. People disassociated with her. That's exactly what happened with Kanye.
So she lost a bank account. She lost advertising.
Yeah, she was banned by banks.
She's not in the same. She doesn't have a bank account.
It doesn't matter.
I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. Her career. She doesn't work in advertising.
Prime is trying to end the panel. It's 12. It's 12:12. People want to come on the open. I want to yell at some people on the open. Prime is trying to end it, man. You said she don't got a bank account.
Now you know that. Gambit, you was Kanye can say kill all the Jews. You said you know he doesn't mean that. He means one person. And so you have that level of charitability, but you understand. But you don't understand what I meant when I say she doesn't have a bank account in comparison to the Kanye. You don't have that level of charitability, and you don't have the show, bro. Get out my face with that.
Okay, all right. So why don't we do that? I have kept you guys over time. I have kept you guys over time, so I will end the this panel. But guys, the content is not over, right? We're gonna go into open walk-on panel. You can guess what we're gonna talk about. So the content isn't over, so stick around. I'm just gonna give an outro to all these great individuals who have been here. Shout out to Smooth who just had to jump out. I've kept these guys way over time, 45 minutes over time. But thank you all. If you are new, if you've just found this channel, right, stick around. We'd love to have you. Hit that follow button right now. Make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live. We do this all the time. Exclamation social and chat for my social media. We got our Twitter, we got our Discord, got our TikTok, got a YouTube. If you missed anything, it'll be on the YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, we'd love to you to be a part of this community. So hit that follow button if you're brand new here. Thank you very much. And again, we're not done with the content. We're going to have an open walk-on panel after this where you sitting at home can join in, right? So if you heard something you disagree with, right? And I'm sure anyone out there who's sitting in the audience has heard something they have disagreed with, well then that'll be a great time for you to jump on in and be a part of the conversation. Okay. So I'm gonna give an outro to all these great people. We'll start with Bam. Bam. This has been a big one. Hey, thank you for the sub to King Ghidorah. Leah, that's really kind of you. Thank you, Bam, for coming through, fighting the good fight with me. Like no matter what side you're on these things, dude, I really appreciate your presence. Right, you've been really dedicated to this community. So shout out to you, Bam.
Yeah. Honestly, fire conversation on both sides. I think y'all. Nah, y'all ain't stupid. Y'all are intelligent people. I really wanted to say y'all are stupid. It's some people going. I'm like, God, buddy's stupid. But I don't think any of y'all are really stupid. I think that it was just like, I don't know. Maybe you're bankrupt. I'll say that. Y'all are. But no, I think this was a fire conversation. Prime, you bringing the heat. Like I said, I pray this goes well for you. But no, like I said, I'm super happy that everything happened, and I obviously won the debate, as I do. You know where to send my trophy, Prime. Same place as always.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Off the Sesame Street. All right. I'll say this before we continue. Like, I think everyone argued in like good faith. I don't think anyone was like bad faith individuals here, and I don't think these gentlemen are anti-Semitic. To be very clear, right? I think we've all. I think yikesy things have been said all around. But I don't think anyone here seriously is anti-Semitic. And I do appreciate every single one of you. Okay, let's go to Isle. Isle, thank you so much for coming through, and yeah, fighting it out.
Thank you. So Bam might have won this debate, but only because of a disgusting amount of misogynoir and Islamophobia, saying that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar can't be, like, you know, in charge of her own bank account, and so that's why she didn't get any backlash, because she doesn't have a bank account. That was crazy. And I'm not gonna forget that he said that. Now, in regards to Kanye, I'm just gonna say that King, you need to just, you know, keep on your grind. Don't, you know, stay off of Twitter for the next week or so, and then things will blow over. You know, in the words of Vernon Howard, a truly strong person does not need the approval of others any more than a lion needs the approval of sheep. You know, don't let the sheep will get you down, King. Ye is a legend. And on the first topic, I think we all had pretty much agreed that all parents with custody should have the final say before their child like does anything like a physical transition or a legal name change or things of that nature. But you know, social detransitioning I think should be left up to them, and then when they're 18, they can go the full medical procedure that on, you know, on their own thing, because they're old enough to consent to those types of things. Thank you very much for having me, Prime.
Let's go to our newest member. All right, Blaze. Blaze, thank you for just wandering in here, right? Like a bum off the street. No, no, that's maybe, man.
Can I do that too?
No, you show up on the open panel. You showed up on the open panel. That's the way it usually happen, right? But no, seriously, Blaze, I appreciate you for wanting to be a part of this. We hope you come back in the future, be part of other panels. We're always looking for new voices. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for having me, man. And what do you guys like my content or not? Is always appreciate you guys give me some feedback on my my YouTube channel, Blaze Right. But hate mail, welcome, everything. I'm all for it, man.
Blaze, go to my Twitch channel and type copy and paste your YouTube link in there so we can go check you out. And I'll save that one. Waterkai, Waterkai, thank you for being here as well. You're always a bunch of fun. I always respect your voice. Thanks so much.
It's been great. Kanye has basically torpedoed his own ship. Nobody gives a crap. Let him die in his own fire. His GoFundMe can crumble upon itself. And I hope his kids don't end up on TikTok. And we're good.
Does he have a GoFundMe?
Oh, yeah, there's a GoFundMe to make Kanye a billionaire again.
Those are scammers, and I advise
I
no
give
one
no
to
shit.
do that.
Let the right do what they're going to do. Let them eat themselves and pay into scammers like Build the Wall and all that other good stuff.
Do you mean the
if they
whole
want to
right?
fall for it? No.
Do you mean the whole right or certain individuals in the right?
I mean the MAGA right. That's
you should be careful with your words, bro.
I mean, all of
I agree. Thank you for holding me to that. The MAGA right, the people that believe in conspiracies and other dumb shit that are willing to give to GoFundMe's like the Wall and make Kanye a billionaire again.
But what about Blue Anon, like on the left? Do you want them to be scammed too?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I'm glad.
I prefer
Doesn't bother me one bit. Anybody that's gullible can catch it.
Okay, oh, fine, fair enough. Azzy of I like this look on Azzy's face, like he's surprised P. Like, what, me? My man Azzy, right? Like I keep telling you how much I appreciate your presence, man. It's always a fight with you, but like I always enjoy it. So thanks for being around, man.
I've been missing this man. Come back.
Yeah, right? He's great.
Yeah.
Azzy, please.
I gotta, I gotta open my own doors, man. You know, to get like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in order to get in this place, man, I gotta open my own doors. All right, but anywho,
well, like Blaze, just walk right in.
Anywho, because I don't want to insert myself. I don't want to be like Kanye, just insert myself into. I gotta be smart about this. All right, smart vocally and make smart moves too, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't just say stuff and not expect people to cut me from the. I can't say crazy stuff and Prime won't cut me from the panel. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anywho, L'chaim, shalom to my Jewish brothers and sisters. All right, we love you. Grace and peace. All right. We don't condone everything Kanye says. Unfortunately, a lot of your brothers and sisters back in the day, I was doing some shady stuff back in business. We got receipts, but we still love you. We don't hate you. We wish the best for you. I'm gonna say this. I said this to Smooth and Gambit before. Kanye is not stupid. He's a little annoying, but he's not stupid. I knew it. He has his rights. He has rights to sell his shoes when his contract expires. Was it like in December? He gets rights to everything.
Non-compete, yeah.
Yeah, non-compete ends in December. He can sell all his stuff. Adidas and Foot Locker are still selling his stuff, even though they say they cut ties. They just Foot Locker moved the shoes to like the GOAT. Was it the GOAT platform or GOAT? What's it called? Like it's called GOAT something. GOAT Locker or something like that. It's like a little side platform where they can sell sneakers. They moved all their foam rollers, all them weird looking bionicle feet shoes off the platform and put it on the GOAT. So it looks like they're not selling his shoes. Adidas is still selling their shoes. They're just not using the Yeezy name. So it's funny how people are conducting themselves in this business. They will cut you off quickly, especially if you say something that is not media appropriate. Emphasis on media appropriate, but they will still use you to make money. Okay. Just like this is what white people do to black people. I'm sorry, man. But I don't want to say that, because if I say that, I'm like punching down on single
okay
straight.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm like lost this idea, but I appreciate.
We were mesmerized. We were all mesmerized by the speech.
He was punting you. He was like, "I'm gonna just keep going."
Right,
people not here. I gotta make the speech.
Azzy,
I love Israel gone.
Okay. Azzy, thank you for Azzy, always be you. All right.
Find me on Twitter. I don't know why y'all keep trying to cut me off.
Go ahead, Azzy. Where can they find your Twitter?
This why
on Israel, obviously. That's where you can find them on Twitter.
Oh my god! I want to end this panel. Yeah, I want to get to the content.
George comment, because now I understand, because
Tubi. Oh my god! All right, I'm moving on. All right, Tubi. Thank you. Oh my god! Why do you goad him? You know he's gonna do. Tubi, right? I never get to see this man.
hopefully, right, I can coax him back here again because he's always a lot of fun to talk to. I always love hearing this guy talk, right? Even when like his large intellect leads him astray, right? By like disagreeing with me. So so seriously, friend, thank you so much. It was a special occasion to have you here.
Yeah, I knew this topic was gonna go crazy. I was waiting for the second topic. I knew it was just gonna be nuclear warfare between everyone. Oh my God, I was waiting for it. And again, it's important for me to state that nobody here is in favor of anti-Semitism. Nobody is pro anti-Semitism. We all have our interpretation of what Kanye meant by his words. And again, I would never if you think that if you agree with Prime's side, I can understand your interpretation of it. Please try to understand mine because it's a bit more controversial, I guess, than what a lot of people would interpret from Kanye's words. But also don't take that as an advocacy for anti-Semitism. And it's a damn shame that I can't have this kind of discourse with other people at like my university and stuff like that because people have to worry about you work really hard for you to get in a certain position, and like Kanye has shown, words are more powerful and the internet is more powerful than it's ever been, and all of your hard work can be destroyed instantly. And so any kind of virtuous thing you're trying to work towards beyond just lifting yourself up economically, like what GSU Gambit has done, providing computers and all that stuff, it can just be destroyed because you said something one time, or in Kanye's case, you could argue he said it several times. But people have said something one time, or they said something 10 years ago, and all their hard work is just like destroyed. And I'm not trying to have that happen to me. So again, this is not advocacy for anti-Semitism. And I appreciate everyone here for having the bravery to talk about it. And I disagree with each other and vehemently. I appreciate that. I very rarely get to yell at Prime so vehemently. Bam, I'm not joking, bro. I've never been in a conversation with you before, and you almost gave me like 3 aneurysms, dude, when you were talking about what Kanye said, bro. I almost had a heart attack like 5 times. I had to get up and leave, bro. Oh my God, I love you though.
Oh wow!
I got my Wranglers on. They strapped up.
Yeah.
Graham was ready to go.
You got those Wranglers on. It should have moved you over to me and Gambit's side. You can throw those Levi's on if you're going to be liberal.
Black on black crime. A black man almost died from high blood pressure.
Thank you. Shout out again to be a Bam is in fine form today, right? We get people to walk away.
Superb form. You are in superb form.
Last but one of the best, right? Again, I wasn't going to have this conversation without him, right? I've waited, I've literally weeks, right? Until he was ready. GSU Gambit, great guy, great support of this community. He's been here forever, right? One of the oldest members of the ABA community here. And great guy overall. Person I like talking to, personally, right? And a successful guy and all these good things, right? So I got to front load that, right? To make an excuse for his opinions tonight. I don't know, right? I do my best with them. Do my best. But GSU, right? If you want to embarrass yourself one more time before you leave, it's cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I enjoyed this, man. I appreciate you saving it, Prime. Because I definitely want to have this conversation. And when all this started happening, I definitely want to have it here on Abe. So I appreciate everybody. Some of y'all had, terrible takes. We don't have to talk about that after this panel. They'll post on YouTube and y'all will feel sad about it. But I do think that we should talk about one thing. So just like to be said, like we don't support anti-Semitism. And I think when people make statements where they're trying to call like the Jewish or cabal, we should call those things out. As such, Ilhan Omar is racist, and we should all agree that she wasn't critiquing Israeli policies or the Israeli government or the Israeli conflict with Palestinians. She was talking about the control of Jewish people of the entire world. And that's disgusting. We should call it out. So we should not support. Yeah, we should not support anti-Semitism in any way. But the real reason that people are mad at Kanye West, there's a lot of reasons, right? Some of it is media generated. But the real reason is we spend a lot of time here on Abe talking about like systemic injustice, whether that's the healthcare system with women, whether that's the criminal justice system. One injustice and one institution that exists, one statement that Kanye has recently made was the most dangerous place for a Black person is in the belly of their mother. And it's actually staggering and really sad that this is actually the case. More Black people die that way than any other cause. I think maybe all of the causes combined. And that's truly why people are mad, because Kanye is trying to repair familiar relationships in the Black community. But shout out to Kanye. Go great. There's a reason he was the richest Black man ever. What up, yeah?
Could you send me some statistics on that? Like, I've heard that statement before, and I haven't seen statistics on that. But yeah, I'd be interested in that. And in all seriousness, I love my friend Gambit. So thank you for being such a good sport. All right. So we are going to continue on to our open walk on panel after this, right? Where you sitting at home may participate. Stick around for that. Anyone here can join us, right? We love to have you. Continue on the fight. Anyone here can join us, but if not, that's okay. Thanks for spending your time, your energy, your knowledge, and your passion in my community. I know they appreciate it just as much as I did. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Prime.
Adios.